are mine.
Get out the beach! Get out the beach! Hans, get off the beach!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 634th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the Clown Prince of Podcasts, Tress now. I'm joined by...
I am the tears you cry, Kirkland Patzer.
Hey, I'm the Admark Caster Dylan.
I am the Where's Star Wars, Taylor Field?
I gotta get a Tears You Cry drop. just the opening line and then
Song's
done
been in
for
my head all day.
The Tears You Cry. Go check out Rings of Power. Penultimate review coming this week. Lots of stuff going on the feed right now. I have to check. I think it's like a few downloads away. Big thank you to everyone who checked out Penguin, biggest episode of the month. So that was a
Nice.
fun review, and that's weekly. Agatha's weekly. We got Joker next week. Got Side Quest every Monday, every Tuesday. Or maybe Monday for the patrons if you're like, it depends on Dylan's speed and if I can get him a StreamYard code quick enough. But like maybe early.
Yeah.
Even Taylor, we were filming and Taylor's like, yeah. He's like, I wasn't trying to creep your phone, but I saw someone was blowing up. But he didn't tell me it was
Blowing
Rapid
up.
Ticket.
Okay, I sent like one message, but
It was at least four. In a row.
yeah. Well, fair enough. I mean, sometimes rather than hitting a period and then typing a new sentence, I'll just
Yeah.
smash enter and then go again. But
You're
blowing up
much-
would be like I text you, I call you, I Discord
Okay.
you, I woof you all at the same time. But I
Woof
didn't do
you.
that. Yeah.
Woof. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Taylor has different definitions of blowing up, but
I don't remember saying blowing up.
you did, but that's okay.
There's always a
Oh.
troublemaker in a
It's
group
blown
of
up.
four.
Yeah,
There's always a
it's Taylor.
You're
Mantle always
out,
passes.
Norman. Yeah, but we have a newscast. I think last week I misspoke. I'm like, oh, I won't get one for 2 weeks. I thought Joker was later, but no, Joker is here. So we're going to be doing our predictions for that movie. But we got that going on. We have, as the title apparently says, Star Wars, Ray Film and Troll. So I need to correct that for the live viewers.
Star
Thunderbolts
Wars.
Star
Wars.
Probably getting a Star Wars before we get a Star Wars movie. But yeah, we got lots of this fall has been oh yeah, we're not getting new news. And just trailers, news, bunch of stuff's coming. I finally did all the draft updates, so we have that. So lots of good stuff going on there. Yeah, but as usual, we got lots of Patreon questions. But we'll start with what have you been watching? So Dilmas, what's been on the silver screen over there at your place?
Silver screen, is that a term?
Yep.
The
That's what
silver
they call
screen.
TV.
Silver screen. It's official.
They used it more back in
Interesting.
like the 60s to 80s, but
Okay, I'll have to look into the entomology of that. I don't know why it would be called that, but what's on my silver screen? I watched the first episode of Agatha, and I thought it was really good. It was enjoyable. It was a good time, and I guess I'm more excited to watch the rest of it now. Whereas if you go back to our predictions, I was very uninterested in it. So that was a good time. Only watched the first episode. I know 2 of them are out now, but I haven't got around to that one yet. So that was nice and all. And then the movie that I saw recently is Trap. I finally watched Trap, which is one that...
interesting.
First trailer, very excited. Second trailer, revealed too much, not excited. But I saw that it hit streaming, so I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. And I did not enjoy it really much at all. I thought it was pretty... It was like maybe too cheesy for my liking.
That's what I keep hearing. It's
a lot of very convenient
yeah.
things occur in it. There's the trailer gives away a lot. There is still more to be found under the surface, but not a whole lot. I can't really recommend it to anyone. I did not really have a good time with it.
I was trying to think if there's any, like, is it like, even if you think it's too cheesy, is it like it's cheesy, like so bad, so good? I've started the first 10 minutes and then Emily walked to the room and lied to my face by saying, oh, I told you I want to watch that, even though we don't watch M. Night Shyamalan movies together. We watch like Spin Glass. Now, she didn't come to Old. She didn't come to knock at the cabin, but apparently this one, maybe because the concert deal and everything. So I'm 10 minutes in. That's all I got so far. So I'm gonna join you soon. But
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff that happens, but not crazy in like a wild plot way, but just like you really got to do this suspension of disbelief on this movie. There's so much that's like, no, that's not how that would work if this was any sort of realistic thing. I feel like as far as Shyamalan go, it does like the twists or story elements of it aren't really that compelling either. I know not all of his movies are really that crazy, but I don't know. It's not much there under the surface, I found. So it was a little disappointing, but that's pretty much it. I haven't I'm gaming a lot, so not a lot of watching lately.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Side
50
quests.
50 games to get through. It's
50
tough.
games, yeah.
50 games a year you have left?
No, we talked about on SideQuest this week this game called UFO 50, which is 50 games in
Okay.
one. So it's
Travis didn't listen. Travis never listens. He's
I
like,
haven't.
He does,
I didn't have
actually.
Wi-Fi. I did.
sounds
yeah,
like he
last
listens almost every week.
I usually
it's
do,
like that
yeah.
episode only dropped earlier today. So
I was
I'm not
hoping
gonna-
no one would come in to defend him.
I just didn't have
Cheap shot at
Wi-Fi
him,
until
man.
a few hours ago, and my work, because I work for a government, they block everything. Spotify,
All the
like I've
porn.
downloaded, but
They
that's
blocked
open.
GeekVerse specifically.
Porn's open, but
Porn's open.
YouTube's gone. Yeah.
No, I can't even. They've blocked. I can't even check like Spreaker stats throughout the day. That's what like. It's just like
Wow,
anything.
Spreaker.
It's like
Anything-
targeted blockage. They like know what you would be
Yeah.
looking for. So
Or they just anyone's looked at. They've probably go on their browser and they say, "Oh, someone looked at this site. What's out? It's a podcast site. Oh, block it." Like it's just like if it's not, interior health
Right.
related. And
Yeah, I
it's just
forget
like
that you can listen to podcasts on Spreaker. I was like, that's a weird one to block, but
yeah, Spotify is blocked, Apple because it's like
Is
the
this your
risk
home
is
Wi-Fi? They just have access to that and they
that
block
too.
everything.
Yeah, everything's blocked here. I'm so fucked. No, and then funny enough, you can pull up YouTube, but obviously the algorithm's very messy because like all the restricted like whatever anything up. PG-13 up is gone, and then if it's a live stream, also gone. You cannot watch live videos whether they're live or after they've been pre-recorded. So like
Right.
this, what I have to do, there's a way I can trick it where if I go on data, open up the video and then switch to Wi-Fi, it'll work. So like luckily, thank goodness, Dave, I had to go on a bill to work, and the vodka stream's always like 5 to 7 hours. So I'm like, okay, this got me through a shift, but that's what I have to do. I have to trick it. So I have to like get the video. And it's just annoying. It's like they don't want their employees like let them listen to Spotify. Like if someone's listening to some offensive music, tell them, hey, turn it down. But like if they want to listen to like In Sync, it's like no, not any of that. It's just I'm so.
listen
But
to
I'm
the phones, Travis. You should be doing your job, man.
I do better job with
Tax
music.
dollars.
Luckily, I'm
Tax
back at
dollars,
home
yeah.
now. Got the Wi-Fi.
My
as you
tax
can see.
dollars are blocking you right now.
You are. Stop paying your taxes, Canadians. So, no, I'll go because so first 10 minutes trap. Can't comment yet. I saw I saw Blink Twice that came out. What was the other one? Maddie and Cuckoo. Yeah, so Blink Twice. That's the one that was directed by Zoe Kravitz. It's the Channing Tatum one. I highly recommend it. Great watch, good time. Very tough to watch at times as well. So they do give you, which some people debate if it's a good thing or bad thing. They give you a trigger warning in the first 30 seconds, and they list all the things that happens in the movie because there is some bad stuff. Like I said, that's up to you if you like it or not. But I was loving it. I was surprised how much I loved Channing Tatum because I feel like I kind of given up on him as like a dramatic actor. I'm like, I'll just do the comedic stuff. Even I think notoriously when we did or at least notoriously in my mind, when we did the Tarantino retro, I think I was alone. I just didn't like. In Hateful Eight, he just stands out so much. I just feel like everyone's on such a higher level, and he just doesn't reach them. So I just felt like I was like, okay, I think he's hit his peak. And I was like, oh man, this is actually, I think the best performance of his career, dramatic wise.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
I think so, yeah. So it's really good. Zoe Kravitz directs the hell out of it. The editing is really good. And such just, it's a stat cast. It's a cast of a director whose dad is Lenny Kravitz. Because there's so many people in here where it's like, for a little indie movie, there's no way you'd get these people. But it's like, well, you're famous, I'll call it the Nepo baby thing. But it's like, there's so many people in this movie where like, there's no way if you had the same amount of money and budget, but it's great. I don't want to even spoil some people that are in there. But the other one that's like a star in there, I guess she's really good. I don't know if you guys remember, Taylor, maybe you can remember, name her. Do you guys, Rise of Skywalker, put yourself back in Rise of Skywalker. Remember Finn?
I don't like to do that, Travis.
I know, but remember Finn had that partner. She was also a former stormtrooper and she broke out.
Yep,
Remember
I know her.
What was her name?
Oh, I don't know that.
So anyway, she's the lead in this movie, and her real name's Naomi Aki, and she's in Mickey 17. She's the female lead in that movie. She's great in this. And then the other person that's great is you guys still haven't seen Hitman, have you, with Glenn Powell?
Yep.
That's a question.
Yeah.
Okay, the female lead in that is a supporting. I can't remember her name either. She's having a killer year. She's in Morbius and Andor, but
Andor,
yeah. Yeah, and there's another one she's fantastic. So acting's all around great. Only thing is, people may agree, disagree. I think the third act has like a nosedive. The third act is like real bad, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. Not acting wise, just like choices. And it feels like they try to be like, hey, remember the Saw movies? How they have that twist at the end? Let's do that, but like 5 times over. To the point where 1, it's too many, and 2, it just feels like almost like you're talking about Trap. It's like, now you're stretching too far. Like the movie stretches far, but this is so it took me out of it. It got way too just kind of suspension of disbelief where the rest of it was grounded. And it's almost like what we're talking about with our check out Patreon retrospective, how some of us, I won't spell who, like feel like the ending of Promising Young Woman don't like the comedic turn. That's how I was with this movie. The movie kind of gets a little comedic, and I'm like, this is a very serious movie, and I didn't like it. So at one point I thought it was a top 3 for me, but now it's like in the just below the top 20, really good. And then, but yeah, still recommend it. Still really good. I'm excited to see
Did Zoe write it as well or just direct it?
co-wrote it.
Okay.
It's her and another writer. I can't remember who it is, but I think it's someone.
Lenny
Not,
Kravitz.
yeah, Lenny Kravitz, of course. Lenny's fucking killing it. He's the main actor too. He's everything.
That's why you're like, I don't want to spoil who's in it.
Well, his
Yeah, I don't
lines-
spoil, but
all of
Lenny's
his
the
lines
killer.
are only sang by characters though,
Yeah.
instead of
I did it.
spoken.
I did it. Yeah. But hey, he's a great actor. Remember him in Hunger Games? He's great.
Yeah, he was good.
He should do more for a
don't
little
remember
role.
that.
I feel like he should do
Absolutely
more. He's the guy that's like her costume fitter. And there's that heartbreaking scene in
Okay.
part 2 when he gets her ready, and he's like, "Good luck," and the pod closes, and then they fucking kill him in front of her. I don't know why
you're
Krieger's
making,
laughing.
you're
It's a
making me
sad
remember
scene.
these movies. God,
Okay.
like one nosedive.
Yeah, no, that franchise was a nosedive. So, and then Cuckoo.
Uh-oh.
Good. I think I'm with Maddie where the hype, it was a good, the trailer is much better than the movie. Much better than the movie. I think Hunter Schafer, Dan Stevens, great. No notes there. Fantastic. They're acting their ass off. Dan Stevens more a fun route. Hunter Schafer, especially in the third act, has some really good emotional beats. But yeah, it just, I don't know what it was missing. There's some cool concepts. I think it's just execution. There's some cool shots. I do think if you remember the trailer, they show kind of some of the best scares and moments in the trailer, but there's still a few other ones. So I would still like recommend it if you like those actors, especially in like the Halloween season, but I'm not saying it's like a must, like, oh, put this on your list. We're Blink Twice. Yeah, it's Blink Twice. That one I'd recommend because I bet there's some people that like the third act more than me. But with Cuckoo, like, I think it's like a solid like 6.57 out of 10. Like, it's like, oh yeah, good time. But so yeah, that was kind of disappointing. But those are the only two there was something else. Oh, and then I just watched Vice randomly because it's political season U.S. I love that movie. Bale's so good, and I have a solo review from years ago. But and Bohemian Rhapsody. I've been listening to a lot of Queen lately, so I just like, I'll watch the movie, and the movie's still like good enough. But Rami's so good in it, so yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Kirkland.
Lovely, yes. What have I been watching? Oh, I watched Fair Play with Phoebe
Ooh.
Dinover.
Oh,
and,
finally.
What's his face? Solo.
Alden.
Aaron. Alden. You're right.
Aaron Reich.
Yeah,
Aaron Reich.
I thought it was all right. It didn't quite meet like the expectations I think I had just from word of mouth here and there. I think it was just maybe not as crazy what I was expecting. Like I was expecting like Gone Girl level of like peak moments of just like what the fuck is going on, and I was really expecting like a big twist. Like someone was playing this person so well. Like by the end of the movie, like I was waiting for like that big magician reveal as to what was going on the whole time. But it's just like, okay, yeah, it's just it's more, I guess, realistic maybe than like what I was expecting to happen. I think the two leads are really fantastic, and yeah, like
Are you a
they're-
Bridgerton watcher?
Yes. So
Okay, so you'd
I
seen her
really do
before,
like
okay.
Phoebe Dinover.
Yeah.
I thought she was fantastic, and yeah, just seeing her in Bridgerton, especially that first season, like that was a while ago. I feel like I was expecting to see her in more after that first season, just because she was just so fantastic, and I hadn't
I think
seen
she's
her in
starting to pick
anything.
up some stuff. I think she has like
Yeah.
another movie soon where it's like a bit like a bigger director or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd never seen Bridgerton. I was blown away with her. I was like, oh, this I want to see her in a bunch of stuff now. So
Yeah, so it was nice to see her in like a way different role, right? Like that's like a high Victoria, whatever the hell it is, Elizabethan, period piece.
High
is-
Victorian. I like that.
whatever the hell.
all
it
those
is.
movies
called for.
Keira Knightley did in the 2000s. It's one of those.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. But
Keira Knightley core.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I gave like 7.5 or something like that, whatever the hell the letterbox equivalent to that is, which I don't know, it's all right. Other than that, Shane and I have been watching Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Mendez
Oh, have you?
story.
Did you watch the Dahmer one?
See, that's funny because I'm like, wasn't there another documentary like called
There
Monsters?
is.
I never got through it. Shane and I were like putting it on while I was like getting ready to eat, and like
Oh no.
the first
No.
episode is just really like disturbing, and I'm like,
That show's gross.
yeah, I don't like these type of flicks actually, like
Closed
true
for dinner that
crime,
night.
true true crime like shows and stuff. Like I don't know, I feel like they make me uneasy in a way that horror movies don't, but like they sit with me like it's like I don't know, like I feel like some of my favorite horror is a slow burn, but like something about true crime and the fact that it's like a real story, I feel like that just
Yeah.
sits with me like longer, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just fucked up. And then Dahmer was just a little bit too good with like how it was made. Like it actually just totally disturbed me at the beginning. So yeah, I turned that off. And
That's
I heard it was amazing, but it's just like
It is.
I've heard something that happened like later on in that shit. It's like
10
yeah,
out of 10 show.
I don't think I need to see that. But yeah, this one's all right. Shay's liking it a lot more than me so far. But
Okay.
I don't know. It's good. I like the two dudes. They're really
Yeah.
good.
I'm starting this week because I didn't know till like 2 weeks ago Javier was the dad.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
whoa.
man. Oh, like that was a
Yeah.
big surprise. So definitely having him in there was a good time. So
And then did you
Yeah.
hear the third season they announced? They're doing Charlie Hunnam's playing Ed Gein.
I don't know who
Ed,
that is.
Ed Gein's a serial killer back in like the 80s, 90s who, when the cops busted him, and his entire house was just like human skin. So like he had skeletons for like cereal bowls.
And
His
he had
curtains were
like
skin-
belts like made of nipples and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. He had his
The old
mom's
nipple
head
belt.
somewhere. They used a lot of the inspiration of Ed Gein for Texas Chainsaw, like that type of family and everything like
Wow.
that. And if you look at Ed Gein and Charlie Hunnam, like Charlie Hunnam's like a good-looking guy, but you could see how they could, with some makeup, look like it. And I'm excited for Hunnam because I feel like he needs like a win, like
Yeah.
he needs like that like Emmy award. Like he was in Pacific Rim, he's in Rebel Moon. Like I just feel like he's just like he's not hit the same way I thought after Sons of Anarchy. I thought he was going to be in a bunch of stuff, and he's just been just around. So, but that's okay. I'm less excited with your review, but
I think it is good, but like it's also like the overall like how they're portraying the story. I'm also just not as like engaged in. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you think because I'm sure you'll watch it if you're kind of following the
I am.
the
It's-
the monsters.
It's next
trilogy.
week. Tomorrow the 6-part Vince McMahon Netflix doc drops, so that's
Oh,
what I'm going to
shit.
be
There you
doing
go.
the whole day. I'm looking
Nice.
really forward to that.
What's that one
so.
called? I remember seeing it on the homepage.
It's like
Just McMahon something.
I think so, and then I think the side of my colon's like mania, like mastermind. It's like mastermind / madman or whatever. So,
Yeah,
and he
there
put
you
out
go.
this whole press release like this doesn't represent me. I've seen the early cuts, and I'm not like this. It's like yeah, all right.
Sounds
It
like
says the guy who's
George.
going on trial for sexual assault. They got it wrong. Trust me, I'm a good guy. Taylor, what you watching?
Well, I'm not done. I got one more.
sorry,
shout out
Kirkland's
there.
got to
I
keep
got,
going here. I'm not ready to
Jesus.
go.
Get in line, Taylor.
I watched
what the hell?
Over the Moon, animated movie. It's very, very cute. I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like this is one of the best looking animated movies I've seen in recent times. And there's some really good looking animated movies out there, but this like just really stood out to me. I really liked just the whole mythos. It's about like the moon goddess and just like a lot of like Chinese like sort of belief in there, and really like the characters, and it was just a fun little adventure. It came out I think a year or so ago.
2020. That's
Okay,
what I was
yeah.
gonna say.
so
Why
there
are you
go.
watching this? 4 years old.
It
Almost
just came
saw it.
across my path. I hadn't seen it before, and I feel like most animated stuff that I'm seeing lately is like a Disney something or like DreamWorks. So it was. I can't quite remember what the studio was for it, but I thought it was really cute, and I really did quite enjoy it by the end. But it was also the type of movie that like I feel like it didn't have to be a musical. Like I know most, especially Disney movies, like a lot of them are musicals. It just seemed like some of the songs are just like so literal, and like they weren't as, maybe I just wasn't vibing with them as much as
Preview
some of the
for
catchy
Kirkland's
songs
Joker
would be.
2 review next week. Maybe, you know?
Those were the
we'll see-
sections
see how-
that Mr. Kravitz wrote.
blink twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'll pass the baton there.
Well, before you pass it, Taylor, I'm going to get you in line one more time there. Dalton Toller. Just going to go with Dalton. I know you get the last name. But Dalton watched Field of Dreams last night for the first time and teared up. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Taylor
yeah,
Field of Dreams?
I've never seen.
It's the baseball one, right?
I've seen. I don't think I've seen my adulthood, and I wasn't a baseball guy. And shout out to S Bubs, who said he had to do the same type of YouTube glitch to listen to live Travis told you years ago. Thank you very much for bucking your school system. So.
Rise against the
All right, let's
machine.
get to some Patreon questions. So they sent Taylor. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, Kirkland, you mentioned moons. You reminded me that we're getting 2 moons in the next little bit. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Is that going to
Yeah.
be visible in our night sky?
It will not be visible to the naked eye,
Jesus
but
Christ, what
I
are we
know.
doing?
What are we doing? But at least for 2 months, the Earth will have another secondary moon, which is kind of cool. But what have I been
Damn.
watching
That's cool.
I'm over the moon about that news.
over the moon? So first things first, I started and watched Night Swim. I
How strong is that pool? Could it
Damn.
kill Killua from Hunter x Hunter? I need to know.
I need to revisit what our discussion was because I seem to remember us I remember us talking about certain things that you had to do to like defeat the pool or certain things like to handle the pool. But after watching the movie, I feel like we missed a major plot point of the pool healing and all this stuff and just different things that you could take
I
advantage
had not seen
of
the
with
movie,
the pool.
and I made no cases for what the
Yeah.
pool was able to do. Okay, Just wanna make
And
sure
me and
that's on
Mike
the
had
record.
seen the movie about
too.
like 7 months ago, so we weren't the best. So are you saying you're more in favor of the pool now?
No, I think I'm more in favor of anyone against the pool because most people that seem to face the pool, the primary person benefits from the pool's abilities. The pool seems, I don't want to spoil it for you, Dylan.
Oh, it kind of like powers people up.
Yeah, it takes power from others and gives power to another individual.
Yeah, but that doesn't
So
go
you can
good
use
for
that.
that doesn't go good for a certain.
But that's a
character in that
50-50
movie.
shot that you benefit
Yeah.
from the pool.
It's
That's
50-50,
pretty
but the
good.
pool, let's say the pool kills an animal and then it benefits the guy. So it's like, oh, okay, well, here's a benefit.
That's just an animal. Who cares?
That's just an animal, yeah. So
I don't think Taylor's given the right representation here. I feel like
I
That's
many
what
people-
happens.
I should.
Many
see
people
this
still
movie.
die in this pool. So
I mean, it's definitely a dangerous pool. There's no doubt about that. But if
Did
you,
you like
play
the
your
movie?
cards right, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So I passed it because it was it was okay enough. And seeing U.S. Agent, he always it's always a good
It's a
time.
Marvel crossover in this movie.
Yeah. After that, we did The Conjuring.
that's his failed Captain America mission. Oh, John, there's a pool in Texas you got to go take care of. And he's like, "What did I fucking do? I'm not Doctor Strange. I
You
just got
killed
a
a
shield."
deer. You got to take this pool out.
Yeah, he's just chucking his shield at him, like running away. I'll talk more about John Walker later.
Yeah, Conjuring. This movie is it's great.
Yeah.
Just you can't go wrong. It's a Halloween staple. It's fantastic. Super, super spooky. After that, Child's Play, the original. I love this one. This movie used to absolutely terrify me as a little kid, but watching it now, there's so many Charles Lee Ray moments that are just great when she's like threatening to throw Chucky in the fire and she turns the fire on and he just snaps at it. You fucking bitch! It's just 1 to 100.
He's so good in that movie, man.
He is good. He's really good. After that, we did Jaws, the original. I fucking love that movie. It's great.
There's only one Jaws.
There's 4.
No, there. You said the original Jaws, but there's Jaws 2 and Jaws
Well,
3D
yeah, but
and
I just want
Jaws
to be
Revenge.
specific because
Okay.
if I say Jaws, people might think, oh, the Michael Caine one. Like, no.
No, I think most people when they say Jaws, I think most people when you say Jaws, they think of just Spielberg's Jaws. But okay.
Never thought
I
of
should
the
hope.
Michael Caine one.
No,
until
no,
now.
I think no one thinks of any
That's
of
a
those
mind-blowing one.
ones. Yeah.
I will probably sneak 2 in because I do like number 2. But the first one's just so great with those
Yeah.
the trio on the orca. Just such a great movie. God damn. And then we watched Barbarian. Fuck, this movie is always, it holds up. This is easily a staple Halloween rotation film.
Nice.
God, I love it. It's
I
great.
thought about putting
and
it on today. I'm chomping that
Sitting there on Disney
Twist my
Plus.
rubber arm. I'll throw it on too.
Do it. I can't wait to talk. We'll be talking more about that.
We're gonna talk about that
later.
tonight. Yeah, we're a lot of
Yeah,
preview for
yeah.
the newscast.
So
yeah.
I'm happy that I watched that coincidentally before this, and then lastly I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That one is just, I was looking for a not scary, but a horror movie, Halloweeny movie to watch, and saw this one. I was like, you know what, this one is a cult classic. I freaking love this movie, and so I popped it on. I mean, you're not getting like a breaking Emmy award winning film here. You're getting what you're getting. It's
Emmy
called
award
Killer
winning.
Clowns. Yeah,
No
Emmy
film-
award
Such a
winning.
good movie that it won a TV award.
Made a TV movie.
Taylor, did
It's,
you catch any gameplay for because that game is out now? That Dead
It
by
is out.
Daylight clone.
And I've not tuned into it at all. It's on my list eventually, though.
I feel like there's a lot of things that we're gonna talk about this again later too. But there's a lot of Taylorisms that he's not watching. Like I was very surprised to not see it all. No Transformers 1 viewing from you at all.
Whoa, controversial.
And it's weird
Nope.
because everyone's saying it's fantastic. So I just thought you'd be on that bandwagon to go watch it. You hate animation or something?
Would, but it's just we
Big
have a
animated
busy
hater.
week already here. Yeah, fucking animation. No, it's just I feel like I have to pick my movies when I'm going alone.
Okay, so then follow up. Why? Because this is another movie you didn't review that you did see. I know you did. You saw Speak No Evil, so you can give us your thoughts on that. But why did you choose that instead of Transformers 1?
Did they release the same week?
No, but wouldn't you just be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip Speak No Evil so I can see Transformers 1. The
Speak
next
No
week.
Evil was not just me going alone though to the movies. Speak No Evil is me and Madison hey, we need to do a date night. Let's do a date night. And
She wouldn't want to
we
go to
ended up doing that.
Transformers 1?
That's not her cup of tea.
Really?
the
When on your
Transformers.
birthday you had to
Animated.
go see fucking The Big Short or whatever?
And I didn't have any say of that, so
I feel like you can pull.
I
rank
wanted
every
to see
once in a while.
Napoleon, and that did not happen.
The Big Short.
The 7-8-year-old movie. There's Napoleon. The whole year Taylor's been talking about. Which have you even seen Napoleon yet?
Not yet.
Check out the extended cut. I heard it's pretty good.
It is.
Extended
It's like
cut?
3 hours 40 minutes or something.
I'll do that back to back with Gladiator too.
Nice.
What do you think about Speak No Evil?
Man, it was freaking awesome. Actually, I will read off what I wrote for it because I did a nice little review here. So when the film, here we go, amazing date night movie.
Movie Critic 94. Check them out.
Liked it a lot more than we thought we would. Movie had us stressed out for the entire final act. When the film transitions between its middle to final act, there's a slight moment that pulls you out. At least it did for me. But other than that, the film's build up and ending was stellar. Love this film, and Xavier was great. And I stand by that. The movie was fantastic. I think it is an absolute fantastic couples movie. There's lots of moments where you're gonna laugh because it's kind of just a zanky kind of scene and situation, but
zanky.
it definitely had
Oh, damn, new words.
Patrick
unlocked.
Kazooie villain over there.
yeah, there's definitely the baseline kind of narrative, which you can watch a trailer, you can kind of figure it out. But I appreciate the plot twist that they had because that caught me off guard. And I didn't know there was an original until you guys were talking about it on the Discord.
We
So
talked about
I
it in
think that's
cast,
cool.
but that's okay.
I know we talked about it a
He's
few
making a
times, and there's a few things that I think they switched from.
There's
what
more
the
than a
original
few.
version.
The whole third
Yeah.
act's different, and so which is they just think that the American audiences couldn't take it. They just think they're babies, I guess. So,
It's true.
but yeah, it is true. So that's good. What did you rate that again?
I think I gave it a wholesome, lovely 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Just because the one thing pulls me out of it.
Does that translate to a 9 or a 9.5 for you?
I feel like that's more like a 9.
Really? Mm-hmm. That would be like an 8 to me.
An 8.
Yeah,
A
my
4.5 out of 5 is an 8.
Didn't you say 4?
I said 4.5.
Then I take it back. That's a 9.
Okay.
All right, some Patreon questions. Manny asked about my thoughts on Cuckoo and Blink Twice, so we got that. He asked the Twister Boys, "Have you seen Hitman yet?" Just
I
me
have.
and Dylan are allowed to speak. Just you two, if you've seen
not
Hitman or
allowed.
not.
Doesn't care
Thanks,
about you
Maddie.
guys.
Yeah.
No Twister viewers. Have you seen Twisters? You've seen Twisters now, Travis. Oh, okay.
So
never mind.
I will watch
That's
for
why
the
you
end
can't
of the year.
answer the question, buddy.
Yeah, but I saw Hitman, but you'll never know.
Never know. Taylor, did you watch Twists? Or fuck, you were there with me
I
on
did watch
Twisters. Did you?
Twisters.
Wow.
Fuck me.
The Twister boy doesn't even know his fellow
Fuck
Twister
you.
boy.
Did you watch Hitman? with Glenn Powell?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it. I loved Glenn Powell in it. I definitely think that the movie would have been significantly lesser if he wasn't the big boy leading the charge. I feel like it's definitely a movie that I had some issues like suspending my disbelief on just kind of how everything was going, and how
It's
just
a recurring theme tonight.
just like the believability of like how certain things were going. Like it's just like, okay, I feel like I just have to swallow this pill and this is how it's gonna play out. And once I kind of did that, I just enjoyed the chemistry of the two leads. But yeah, Glenn Powell was fantastic. I love the segments of him playing like different characters, and I really liked the ending and just like the little tipping of the hat to like the original guy that this was based off of. I thought that was really fun and clever. And yeah, so overall, I don't even know if I did a letterbox review for it, but I feel like it'd be like 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, definitely a great movie.
Nice.
Really great movie. There you go. Well, we got some questions later, but we're going to take our first ad break. Then we're going to get into our topic, so we'll be right back. And we're back. So if you didn't want to listen to that, you can head over to Patreon and join a bunch of tiers. But phase 2 and up, you get every episode ad-free. So every single thing we do here, including the exclusive episodes, which we have the Fantastic Four retrospectives up there right now for the Patreon producers, who is Aaron Braden, April Darkness, Jack Grant, Mud, Sam, Superbad Mike, God Loves Me 69, and Jeremy Renner. So big shout out to those guys. Hopefully Lenny Kravitz is going to join on too after all those shout outs.
He better. He better.
But yeah, and then most importantly, this Sunday morning, 9 a.m. PST, we are doing After 9. It is returning. It's our call-in show, so it will be all of us, and then there'll be some patrons. So if you want to call in. You join the phase 2 tier and up. Get in early because StreamYard, I think, only holds 12 to 10 people. I can't remember what it changed to. So if you want in, you gotta sneak in there quickly. And then... I think I promote everything at the beginning, but yeah, we very much appreciate it. And if you can't do that, just rate, review, subscribe. We're just all 4 independent content creators doing our thing, making our way through the muck, giving you this content. So thank you everybody that listens, and thank you everyone in the Discord and all that good jazz. But yes, it has come. Joker, Folie, Deux, which that will be happening later on this week. There will be a retrospective with me, Kirkland, and Taylor, because those two actually weren't even on the original review, and I'll always talk about Joker when I can, so that'll be a fun one. But the sequel to the 2019 smash hit is here in less than a week. So Taylor, Phil, what's your excitement levels for Joker, Folie,
Jokey.
Shut
That sounds like what Harley Quinn, like Margot Robbie, would call him.
Yeah.
Hey, Jokey.
Oh man, my excitement levels are sky high. I absolutely
Whoa,
loved
Sky
that
High,
first
your
one.
favorite movie of all time.
Sky High. Well, I don't know about
Jeez.
that. Yeah, that first movie was great. I remember seeing it twice at least in the theaters, and as soon as it dropped on DVD, Blu-ray, I picked up that copy because I freaking loved it, and I was skeptical if we were gonna get that sequel, but you know, money talks, and $1 billion can say a lot of words, and here we are. So my hype is there. I think that this is going to be a controversial. I know you've dropped that discussion a little bit, Travis, with us, just because.
Just me.
I mean, just you. Just the way that certain people are talking about this film, and I'm curious to see how it's going to fare, being a musical and all.
I do think it's just a conversation me and Taylor had that he just said, like, I feel like he picked me up.
A little
and he was
Folie
asking-
Deux between the two of you over there on that one.
he picked me up from somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, these Joker 2 reviews," and I was like, "Oh, they're kind of the
Sounds about
same as the
right.
first one there, Mick." So I didn't drop it on all of them either, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy it, and the fact that it's a musical kind of has me a little bit more excited as well. I did not go through the song list, but I saw that Lady Gaga dropped like her the album name and the song list and stuff.
Kinda. She's dropping a companion album she's dropping it on the 27th, and she didn't drop it, like the company put it out there. But yeah, it's companion album on a few days. So
What is a
Harley
companion album compared to a regular album?
An album's
none of-
an album. Throw another word in front of it, sure. It's still an album, right?
I think it's better than saying a cover album.
Did I say cover album?
No.
Where's the cover coming into play here? I just said album.
You asked me about what was the question you initially asked me?
He didn't say it wasn't a companion album. He just said it was an album.
Did you ask me what's a companion album?
I don't remember.
I believe that's what you asked me originally. None of the songs in Joker are original. It's a jukebox musical, so they're all different songs that they've
I thought
redone.
some were original
No.
and some were
Well,
covers. though.
Lenny Kravitz wrote one.
He's gonna be Joker 3. You be playing Scarecrow at Arkham Asylum. Fear, fear. I can't do a Lenny. I have no fucking clue. But it's called a companion just because I imagine it's like a cute way of saying it's a cover album because none of the songs are original; they're all covers. So
It's like it's just a companion to the movie because the movie's
That
coming
too,
out.
yes.
It's a companion.
Double
you know,
entendre.
They're coming
Double
out together.
Yeah, even though the album comes out a week before.
It's just an album. at that
Spoilers.
point.
Which I actually
don't.
don't. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it coming out today because I saw a set list.
Well,
and
you
I kinda
can't
wanted
listen
to be
to
surprised,
Spotify
so.
anyway on your computer, so it's okay.
I can now, but on Twitter they showed everywhere, and I was like, I didn't want to see that. So
It's just like
annoying.
spoilers. Like
Yeah.
Harley kills Joker. Like one of the songs.
Arthur's
Yeah.
noble death, just like Qui-Gon back in the day.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Kirk, what is your hype level?
No.
Oh.
I would love to answer Dylan's question. Yeah, I feel like I am excited for, especially just the interest level of like having Lady Gaga in there, and the musical aspect is really intriguing. And every time I see that trailer, like goosebumps are lifted. I haven't seen Joker until now, and I feel like I loved it, but it's not like. It's not a pleasant watch, you know. Like I was mentioning how like couldn't get through Dahmer. Like this movie, I feel like it has a lot of dread and like makes you feel yucky. And I don't normally want to feel that way when I'm just like chilling after work. You know, want to sit
Don't
down.
blow your whole load. We're
enjoy
reviewing
something.
it tomorrow. You know.
No, I've seen it now. Like that's
No.
just getting back into like the actual performance of like Joaquin. I am excited for the. What's your question?
I know you've seen you and Taylor tonight. I said, "Don't blow your load. You're reviewing it." No. I've seen it. I meant like
I
stop
blew my load.
reviewing the movie. We're gonna do that episode tomorrow.
I'm not reviewing the movie. I'm reviewing
You-
the way I feel about that movie. So the feeling going into Joker 2 now, I'm uneasy because it's like I'm going to be feeling dread and not happy. I imagine from this movie.
I guarantee you
I
tomorrow
think it'll
he's gonna be like, "This makes me feel dread. It's gonna happen." Yeah.
first Taylor, then Dylan.
Yeah.
Sorry, the way you worded it, did you watch it recently for the first time?
Same
or
question as Taylor for me, actually.
Yeah, he said that in a
I-
weird way, right?
I hadn't rewatched it until now from the
That's not
first
what
time
you
I
said.
seen it.
When's
in
now,
In
though?
theaters.
2019? Is the
In
first time you saw
anticipation
it?
for our retro that's going to be coming out. We're going to be recording that tomorrow. So yesterday.
you did say
for
I
the-
hadn't
for the jury.
watched
If the
it.
jury needs to know, yesterday, Your Honor. But yeah, so I'm a little bit uneasy on the feeling of uneasiness, but part of me thinks that this will be a little bit of a happier tale than what the first one is, but maybe that's also getting my my defenses down. So
I'm glad you're going with those expectations. You're about to take a fucking. You're gonna be sitting there, end of the movie, shell shocked as like these two are like dancing around their guts or whatever. So
dancing in the
Gut
guts.
dancing.
yeah, Dylan.
I guess I'm kind of the exact opposite. I'm not really that excited for this movie, and I've been trying to think about why that is. Something about the trailers have not really done it for me. I guess part of it is just that this doesn't really feel like a new or novel or interesting idea like it did the first time around, where that was something very different for comic book movies. It was just even a very unique movie for the time, but I guess I just don't really feel that way anymore. And I know Gaga's gonna be great. I know Joaquin's gonna be great, but I just don't really care that much. And I don't even know if I'm gonna be on the review. I might just watch it later down the road is honestly where I'm at with it. Obviously it's well known that I'm not a big DC guy, and I don't think this really feels like a DC movie by any means either. But I just don't find myself that interested to want to go and find out. And I'm sure there's going to be things that are surprising or unexpected, but I don't feel like I'm I don't think I will be surprised in how I feel about the movie, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. I'm really not that interested in it. I wonder if anyone else out there listening has that same, like, I don't think it's fatigue. I don't think that's what it is. But if anyone else is feeling similarly, I'm curious. Oh, Dalton in the chat. There you go. I got one. And yeah, it's hard to word what it is, but I just don't really care for whatever reason about this one. And I'm sure, when it comes out, everyone in the Discord is going to be thrilled and talking about it, and I'll definitely watch it before Golden Geeks time, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I'm just not excited to get to the theater to go watch it. And not for the same reason as Kirkland of like the uneasiness and knowing that it's going to be a movie that makes you feel weird. There's just something about the general vibe of it that's not doing it for me. And it's not. I don't think it's also the musical elements of it. I don't think that's really pushing me to or from the movie either. But yeah.
I'm like Batman Joker guy, so I'm always excited. I think I'm not that I'm okay. I'll definitely say I'm less excited than the first one, just because I feel maybe what Dylan was saying. We kind of know what we're getting this go around, and what I'm waiting for those, hoping to be like, okay, when we saw the trailers for the first Joker, like, oh, this looks different, and then once you watch the movie, it felt very different. That's what I'm hoping this was, and I do like the musical aspect. I trust the team. I think this movie is like, if it's lower than like an 8. I'll just say an 8. I think I'll be disappointed. That's kind of the barometer. But yeah, I'm just excited to see like what chemistry Gaga and Phoenix could have, because it's an interesting pairing. They're like, Gaga's not acted that much, but they still have just very different energies, I feel. So I think it's going to work. I'm not worried about that. But I'm not a musical guy, but I am in this sense of I want the genre to always evolve and change. So I think depending how much musicals in here, I think that could be something warranted and something welcome. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. I think I'll be more excited once I'm in the theater sitting there. I feel like we've gone the same amount of trailers that we did for the first one, but it just feels like there's definitely been a lot more marketing lately. So I'm seeing all over. It's also just very busy time. It hasn't set in that it's like next week, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for some things we'll talk about in predictions, but I'm not having the same camp that I think it's going to reach the levels of the first one either, because I think there's going to be some stuff like when I see, it depends how much. When I see like Harley on the elevator and it closes and they're both on the stairwell, it's like I don't want to get too remixy of the first one either. I don't want them to just follow similar beats, so I'm hoping they don't do that. So I hope there's some risks taken, and yeah, I'm excited for great at least again performances. Phoenix is going to be, because I think I made this point before when people kept trying to tell me there'd be no Joker 2. Suck it, we're finally here. They went with my pitch of the cult leader and finding Harley Quinn. They fucking Todd Phillips was probably a Patreon producer, heard and went, oh, I cracked the code. But I think for me, I think I've lost my thought now, and it was something about Joaquin Phoenix. Oh my God,
Joaquin, he's been a pretty controversial guy lately.
Yeah, he has been. At least he's not walking out of this, No, I can't. I can't remember what it was. I'll try and get it back to me. But oh God, what were we talking about though before?
Talking
I don't
about
know what we're doing here.
Patron.
expectations, talking about how it's going to perform, talking about music, talking about Lenny
Kravitz.
It was something to. I think I said the Lenny joke, and that took me out of it because I
Oh,
kept
yeah.
thinking of Lenny Kravitz now. But no, it was.
It affects on people.
It was something about.
It'll come back to you. As soon as we move on, that's when it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
That's how it always goes.
So I'll start with you, Taylor. Taylor, overall, I'm gonna and this with everybody, but the first one had a $96 million opening weekend. There's been projections that are higher than that. There's been projections that are lower than that. So it's kind of all over. Obviously, projections this year have been crazy. There's been many times where movies came under and many times where it went much bigger. So I'm going to start you there at $96 million, over or under.
Oh,
I swear it was $1 billion, but I guess people just rounded when they were talking
No,
about
Opening
no,
weekend?
I said just opening weekend.
billion
Oh, okay.
opening.
Every weekend.
Well,
There's $1
Endgame
billion.
did that, remember? Endgame had a $1 billion opening weekend.
This ain't Endgame, buddy.
No.
Oh man, I want to say it'll be over, but I think probably wants to say it's going to be under.
Which part are you gonna go with?
What's your number then?
I think I'm gonna go. I think it'll hit the 90 million opening weekend.
Down under.
Oh,
It'll be
Dalton,
close,
thank
but
you
it'll be
for
under.
reminding me. Yeah. Okay.
We circling back?
Yeah, let's circle back quickly.
I don't wanna make you
The
forget it
thing
again.
that I wanted to say that is exciting about this is we've never, in my opinion, really got a Joker actor that's gone to do it a second time. Jack did it once. Jared had like a scene in Justice League, and I don't really count that. Heath passed away, so like for live action Jokers and films, this is the first time really that they're getting a huge big follow up. So that's why I'm excited to see what Phoenix can do with that character. Thank you, Dalton. And then Taylor is gonna hit $1 billion like that first one.
I'm gonna say yes because I want to put my optimistic movie draft pick out there.
Right,
That's gonna hit
yes.
$1 billion. I need it to hit $1 billion because if it doesn't, then
You do, yeah.
two-time
You're out,
Taylor
Norman.
is just a two-time.
Have you won the past 2 years in a row?
Yeah, I'm two-time Taylor.
You had the Mario.
I had the
Oppenheimer
Barbenheimer
And then
the
Avatar.
Mario
right.
Avatar.
Yeah. Fucking
Goddamn.
fuck, yeah.
Killer situation. I think Travis, I misheard you. I thought you were talking about the overall, and I thought I
Yeah.
heard you say 900 million. That's where I was.
There we
Was
go.
misspoken. I think this movie is going to do worse than the first one. I don't think it's hitting $1 billion, but I don't think it's going to be the drop off that like Aquaman 2 or Captain Marvel. That's like the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
drop off you'll ever see in your whole life. I don't think it'll be that level. So I think my overall is like, I'll throw 789 million out there as my number, and therefore I'll go with the opening is lower than previous. But I think it'll be very close. I think the opening will it could honestly even be higher. I could see that happening. I just think overall, not just me, but I do feel like generally speaking, maybe there's less interest for this one, and that could just be me being highly off social media. I'm not sure, but that's how I feel.
Sorry, was the 96 in comparison to the first, or that's just
Yeah,
the
96
projected?
what the first one opened at.
Okay. I'm gonna go over for the opening, and I'm gonna go under for the total. My total number, if I'm comparing it at a Billy, I'm gonna
Billy.
go $888,000
Ooh, nice even 88.
Canadian dollars. So there you go.
God, that gets confusing.
Okay,
No.
we'll go global credits, Star Wars currency, 888 credits.
What
There you go.
what was the final total of the first one's box office?
I
1
got it
billion.
right here.
It hit $1 billion. You just
Yeah.
exactly $1 billion.
They just
0
stopped the
cents.
box office. Stop the
Took
count.
all the tickets out. Yeah. Hang on. I thought I had it here, but Box Office Mojo fucking sucks nowadays.
Does it? I've been using it recently. It seems pretty good to me.
No, you got to do what Brent. You got to use the numbers. That's a way better website, and I didn't because it just
The numbers?
yeah the numbers. It's so much more
What's the name of it? Oh my
clean.
God.
Yeah. Let's see.
Unsecured
So
website.
it was $1,064,000,000. So there you go.
Okay.
So just over because yeah, it had the record for
64.
rated R until Deadpool and Wolverine, right? So.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's tough. Of like, for me, I think it's gonna go over the projections of 90 or like the projections at least. I think it'd be in the same ballpark, but because it's the sequel, I'm just gonna say it's gonna do 102. Gonna give it that 2 right there. I just feel like because lately, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Wolverine, there's another one in there. Like the past few months, that projections have been lower, and then it just like blows up. And I still think Gaga's gonna bring an audience. I think the musical aspect could hurt it if it wasn't someone like a Gaga in there, but I also do think there will be stuff in this movie like the first one that is controversial that you either love or hate, and I think that it will create a buzz of you have to see this. Or I guarantee this movie will have one scene with Gaga, with Phoenix, and or both where it's like, man, I can't believe they did that. That's really disturbing. Or like I think there's some really cool stuff they could do here. I wanted to say $1 billion, but I think with it being like just over $1 billion, like that 164, I don't think it's gonna get there. I think because Kirk, what was your number? You were 880 something.
888 Star Wars credits.
So let's dip to that now. Hey, I'm gonna say 802. I'm gonna stick with the 2 theme. It's gonna open at 102 and then go at 802. The only reason is 2 as well. Not to say that again, but in October. Not that much until like you got that, and then the weekend after is like Saturday Night and Terrifier 3. Like I'm sure people will go see Terrifier 3 and SNL, but not mass audiences. SNL movie's an Oscar movie, and Terrifier 3 is like a very specific niche audience. I just closed first showing. Fuck and hell, and then it's like the weekend.
Fuck and hell.
Smile 2. It's like okay, again that has an audience.
Smile 2 is gonna crush it.
It could, and then like Venom: The Last Dance, which I'm hoping just fucking nosedives. So I don't know. Like I think like all those have like hit potentials, but there's nothing like another massive thing. I guess Venom, but even then, that's 3 weeks later. So I think it's gonna have a good run. I think with it Joker and Halloween, like the last time, it kind of fits. So yeah, I'm gonna say 802. I will also say though, I would not be surprised if it does hit $1 billion. It's like Deadpool and Wolverine, where I think the ceiling is there. If enough chatter is about the movie and it becomes that like you gotta see it type of water cooler stuff, I do think it could hit $1 billion. So I'm not going to be surprised, but I would say no. So
I feel like a couple good things for it could be like some people might be mad that they're dropping that album like a week before, but it makes sense why you do that. You get the
Yes.
fans who, they're on Spotify, Lady Gaga fans. They haven't seen her release a piece of music in 10 years. I don't know how long it's been. Probably not that long.
no.
But they'll see that, they'll get excited. Oh, she's got new music, and then find out that it's from the movie. Boom, they'll go see it. And then also Penguin timing of like that show just starting here, so people are in the mood, even if it's different universe and whatnot. So those could be a couple last minute things that, as you're saying, like with the projection, that could kind of change that projection just in the last week here and close to the finish line.
Yeah. DC's having good. Penguin did good numbers. They're having some good momentum. They're casting Supergirl movie. Things are happening over there in like in Lucasfilm, So
I like that you put those like comparable things, like Penguin coming out and doing really well, and then just them casting for a movie. It's like,
well, I just mean in general, it's like it's legitimately like we might get a well-oiled machine happening right now. Like things are actually moving around. That's the good thing. Like Supergirl's supposed to shoot in January, same as Lanterns. Like it's just lots of good stuff right now. So. Super Mike says, yeah, I think opening weekend will be about the same, but overall will be much lower than the first. What would be much lower to you, Mike? Because that I feel like is different to everybody else. So yeah, I'm with Dylan where I don't think it's going to be like a Marvel's Aquaman drop-off. I think it'll be pretty profitable. But Taylorfield, what happens to, what's the fate of, and you can just speak overall, but what is the fate of our two main leads here? Do they end up in love, happy at the end? Is one dead, both dead? Is she pregnant? What are some scenarios you think could happen here with Joker and Harley?
Oh, I want to say that it might be bold to say that Joker could get killed, but I kind of feel like that could be the result here. But at the same time, I don't know. This is just it's a very different change of events because you got young Bruce that exists in this universe, and so do they kill Joker before Bruce ever becomes Batman in this story? Of course, they're not going to go that far. It's all hypothetical, but I'm just thinking like in this universe, in this story, what does Todd Phillips imagine the future to be? Like, I don't know. Heck, if we ever get a third one, I'm not looking that far, but what is his kind of like long-term story that he's kind of mapped out, right? And that's where I'm thinking like, okay, do they kill these characters? I think that they probably just get them detained again and they just get thrown into Arkham, Blackgate, whatever, and that's it. So I don't think they're going to get a happy ending, but it'll be kind of a happy ending for them in a weird, distorted, unhealthy way, if that makes sense.
Todd Phillips has said that there is going to be no Joker 3, but they did also say there'd be no Joker 2. So just, again, if this makes $1 billion...
Putting that out there.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, he's still... I know James Gunn wants to do his universe, but I'm sure executives above him would be like, yeah, but like... We really like a Joker
$1
3.
billion. Yeah, we like that number.
Like, we know
cheap
you want to
budget,
do...
big profit. That's studios love that.
Yeah, we know you want to do, like, Kite Man, but, like, James... Again,
big budget, low profit with Kite Man.
It's
yeah.
true, possible.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, rated R, gritty, like these fucking kites. But what are you doing? What's happening to our dynamic duo here?
Someone's dying for sure. I'm gonna go 60% chance they both die. Under that, I'll say if only one of them dies, I think it's our man Joker. He's the one that goes down. I feel much better that Harley survives through this, and if they did make a third movie, maybe it'd be her movie. And he's not around anymore. I don't know what you'd call it.
Harley.
Yeah, you'd call it Harley. There you go. Simple and
Done.
effective. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I think we're definitely gonna have some death in this, and there's gonna be some tragedy. I think if she is to get pregnant, I think that baby's not surviving through the end of this. That could be
really?
That could be like a really dark thing that they could do at the end of this.
Because I thought that could be the ending of the movie where he's dead, but she's alive and pregnant and he doesn't get to see the child, and then she raises this child up to like, oh, this was your dad and this is the thing, and that's where Joe Taylor's thing,
like as an epilogue, you mean like that would be in the movie?
epilogue. Yeah, you could be. The movie could end with like
It's the third act.
you
Like a
remember
dimly lit room kind of situation.
not that it was great, but you remember the ending of Barry, Dylan? Then kind of do that, but with
Oh God, don't remind me of Barry season 3. What a freaking disappointment.
but
My
like
God.
you kind of get that of like, this was your dad. Like they could kind of do that, right? It's the same type of character in a way, and I just feel like that could be epilogue. In the way Taylor was, even though I don't think it's what you have to worry, but Taylor's worrying of like, oh well, could a Joker die before Batman? What if that's how you get your Batman and Joker? That, you know, Bruce has started to become Batman, but like there's another kid that's similar his age that's being grown up in this Joker cult. I don't want them to do that. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to
Kid
make it
Joker
work.
versus Kid Batman fighting on the playground. I didn't know want that.
Harley coming to this theater. I think Joker's done. I think that's why Todd Phillips speaks so easily. I think if it were to make $1 billion, then they'd say, yeah, let's do something with Gaga. I think Gaga's alive. I feel like she's gonna kill him because I just feel like in the trailers, from what I'm guessing, I think that he still wants to be out there and be alive, but I think she's pushing him. She's going to be a big pusher to really get him like, hey, you did this, but it could be bigger and bigger and bigger, whether it's to the point of her killing him or pushing him to the point where he does something too big. But I'm like a 95% that he's dead. I feel like the only 5% is me is them getting some note and be like, hey, we don't want you to kill Arthur because just in case we want to do a third, he's alive. But like I said, I think the answer to that is you do something with Gaga. And maybe I don't think Gaga and Harley's as big a second go around. I think the appeal would go away unless like people love the musical aspect and you say, hey, we're going to make a Harley movie and this is going to be like really just full musical original songs by Harley, all this stuff. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know where she'll be. I'll say she's going to be free out there. He's going to be dead. So.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm mostly aligned, kind of closer to what Dylan was suggesting. I think maybe I'll go 55% chance both of them kick the bucket in this tale, especially if this is the final. But like 89% chance Joaquin walks out of this in a body bag. He's gonna be.
He's gonna
likes to
walk
walk
out.
out,
In a body
yeah.
bag?
He is Ghost
be
Will.
carried
That'll be
out?
the third
Okay,
movie. If
okay.
it makes $1 billion, they're gonna bring Joaquin back as a ghost, haunting
Goddamn.
someone. But
Force Ghost, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like kind of, especially with what Travis mentioned there, of just like how easily, well, you know, like the director was mentioning, just this is the final tale of this, and I feel like even Joaquin, like in the writer's room, I don't know if he was in there, but he probably just stopped by with a pizza and just like, yeah, no, kill me off. I don't want to any chance to have to come back
in
to
the
do
body
this.
bag.
He
He's
walks
like,
into
write
the
that in
writings
there.
room.
Act 3, I'm walking out in a body bag.
They're writing away. He walks in the room in a body bag. Like, you see this? This is what I want for the movie. I'm like, oh, thanks, Joaquin. You do
Lenny's
it or I'm
like,
leaving.
Get out of here, buddy. We're doing some serious writing.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it'll still be like a tragedy at the end, with some bloody mess. Like I don't think it's gonna be like a peaceful passing of Arthur in this tale. I think it'll definitely be
Okay.
just a heavier death, and yeah, so we'll see. But not expecting a peaceful ending by any means.
I was going to ask this prediction at some point, but it kind of ties in here. Do you think there's any chance that Arthur dies by a somewhat aged Bruce Wayne? Because, like, I could see them doing, you know, Bruce killing this guy. He's responsible for his parents' death. And even if not, do you think Bruce Wayne is in this? Because he was in the first one, and they didn't hide that, right? Like, that kid was in the marketing. Like, they did that whole, like, remember he puts his hands in the kid's mouth. Like, they showed, like, hey, this is Bruce Wayne. He's in the movie. Bruce Wayne's been nowhere here because they've had some stuff with Gaga and Harley outside, or Gaga and Joaquin outside, but it's like a lot of it's in Arkham and then a lot of it's in that trial. So I don't know, but I feel like that's a thread, especially with them being brothers. Like, I'd be very surprised if that's not pulled on at all, even if Bruce just is in there. But I think that they'll have like a newer actor, not the same actor, like someone aged up, because who knows how long Joker's been in there. But I'm going to posit that as a potential way he could go out as well, too. Like, imagine that, him and Harley on his way out, he's all happy, and then a young Bruce Wayne finds him, guns him down. I don't know.
I have not watched that movie in a long time, unlike Kirkland, who has seen it for the first time, potentially, or rewatching it for the first
Tune
time.
into the retro to find
Yeah,
out.
the
okay,
retro.
tune in to find out.
Clarification.
So I definitely forgot about some of that Bruce stuff. It's been a hot minute
Yeah,
for me.
they're
no
brothers.
doubt. Brothers, yeah. I feel like based on what you just said there, he's got to be in there somehow. Even if it's some weird musical number that's like not actually real, but he's like
Oh, that'd be
fantasizing
good.
about like having a brother who loves him or something, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's too cheesy, but I mean, if we're doing a musical, like you gotta have a little bit of cheese in there. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it could be something like that, and that's where you could definitely pull whatever actor. Not whatever actor, but an actor.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, you could age it up, kind of. You have some good freedom there because it's like not really real anyway.
Yeah, I like the musical number one. Or like if he were to find out Gaga was pregnant, he could think about like a child and like the child with Bruce
Gonna
Wayne.
name him Bruce, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Bruce Fleck.
I thought the
Bruce
like
Fleck.
the sibling story was the mom just suffering from like delusional.
It's up for interpretation. There's no because like
Right,
there is
right.
that. Well, tune to the retro. Tune to the retro.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to turn to that retro. I don't remember anything about this movie.
Kirkland Taylor, any Bruce Wayne appearance? Or Batman.
Uh,
You just get to see a full on fucking bat suit.
Or Penguin.
Beats the shit out of Arthur. That's just the end of the movie. Kills
Yeah,
him.
it's just
Walks
Ben
around with a body
Affleck. He's
bag.
all grown up, little like, hey brother.
Although I wish that would happen, I'm gonna say no. I feel like the focus is just gonna be on our two leads for like pretty much this whole tale. This whole tale.
Hotel.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would be pretty surprised if there is an adult Bruce Wayne. I'm definitely not expecting Batman, but adult Bruce Wayne in this. But I don't know. For that, like me thinking that, I think allows for a nice little surprise reveal in the actual film. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, yeah, I don't think so.
I will say this just because it's we're gonna talk about more tomorrow. But Dalton said he's with you, Taylor, about watching the movie the wrong way. The reason I say that is because the mom says, "Yeah, the fair brother and everything like that," and then the reveals, "Oh yeah, she's crazy. That's all made up." But then also in that movie, you find that Thomas Wayne's dad, wrote a love letter to his mom. So that's why there's multiple ways to show which way it could have gone. Of like she could have made it up, but like they were clearly having an affair, so it could have been his child. So that's where it's like it's left ambiguous, but you know.
People don't write love notes to each other often. Like, that's,
No.
that's
But
a
they could
notable
write them
thing.
to themselves if they're delusional.
I think they show something in the movie where they show like his handwriting prior and then at the same time, so it's matched up. Yeah.
That'll do it.
I
I
missed that
think
detail on my recent review. The
Taylor's
handwriting.
ready
Save
for
it for the
his
retro.
yeah. Taylor's ready for his affair excuse. People make up handwriting all the time. He
write
had
their
that
own
out way
letters.
too
Clearly
quick.
forged the signature.
I
It's
think
like
there's a chance you could see
podcast love
Bruce.
letter Taylor's recorded.
I think you could see an adolescent Bruce, not a young Bruce like in the last one, but something along the lines of a Bruce Wayne in here. So
Yeah. Who do you cast, Taylor?
Jaden Martell, that's my pick, or Martell, or
Is that the guy? Is that the guy? Who is he? Was he
you
Barry's
know,
son?
He's from goddamn, what's that show I was just watching? Defending Jacob. He's from
Yeah, that is Barry's son. That's the guy who plays Barry's son. We tied it all
right.
together.
It all makes so much sense.
Go watch Barry. I still love Barry. Still fantastic. Oh,
who do I
that's it.
cast?
Yeah, I thought you would have had some young
Sorry, I
adolescent that you would have been like,
interrupted
boom.
I
Like
got
Finn Wolfhard.
no one, so I'll say Finn Wolfhard. I'll say Griffin Glock.
Who the fuck
Griffin
is Griffin
Glock.
Claw?
Who the
That's a
fuck?
GTA character right there.
Who sells guns? What's he in? I asked you. What's he in?
Well, apparently he was
Just a
in
ghost
Batman
in it.
versus Robin. He was in
Oh,
Why
shit.
Him. He's in Just Go With It.
Oh,
American
is it like the younger
Vandal?
brother in Why Him?
I think so.
American Vandal.
I just
forgot about
Googled and
that
I was
show.
like, this, yeah, the two of them. I just Googled young
Damn.
actors and he popped up. I was like, you know what? He looks like a young Bruce Wayne. So
That was so good, and then that
Griffin
second
Glock.
season was such like a nosedive. But man,
It was.
season one, that was some good shit.
Jimmy-
American Vandal.
Jimmy
I, wanna,
Blake.
watch that.
I gotta rewatch that.
Jimmy
yeah.
Tatro. Shouts out.
The who?
Jimmy Tatro. He's the lead.
Oh,
American
okay.
Vandal.
Shout out to Johnny Glock there. So
Round the clock.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or predictions on that? Pretty basic this one because I don't think we're getting a post-credit scene. They already revealed Harvey Dent's in the movie, so I feel like if there was going to be one, like maybe there's some other DC Batman character, but like
Who's playing Dent? Is that
an up-and-comer guy, not
Griffin
really.
Gluck.
Yeah.
Griffin Gluck's brother?
No, the lead from American Vandal. He's Dent. He's gonna get the
Channing
two movies.
Tatum.
Yeah, but no, like I don't know. I don't like maybe like Hugo Strange or Victor Like I would like that. I would like if they're in Arkham and a lot of the other patients were like 3 to 4 other Batman villains that are street level. The guy, like to me, the guy that every time he kills someone and he cuts himself to leave a scar, that's like perfect for the Joker movie. Give them like a little whatever, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest type of character. I would love that. I hope they do that, but I don't know if they're gonna.
Mm-hmm. Nothing else
There you
for
go.
me.
All right.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean, I it's predictions, and I mean, I got a GPT if you
I
want
forgot.
one.
You have to for Joker. I want to see what they wrote for Joker because I
Is it
wonder.
better
if
than the freaking Penguin one?
Did you write?
I don't want
Dylan
to
in
sit
there
through that
too?
again.
Dylan, you
I know
wouldn't
you got the
believe
moment
this.
at the end, but
You
I
wouldn't
don't
believe
want
it, Dylan.
You wouldn't believe. So you remember the pickles thing? In
Pickles
the
thing?
remember in the end credit of the post credit when Batman's like, "Oh, pickles!" like on the sandwich or something. They're
Okay.
pickles. And the Penguin show, Penguin is eating a sandwich and he has a whole monologue about pickles. He's like, "You order extra pickles, and they gave me 2 pickles, so that
Is
means
that a
a normal
penguin? Is that like a thing from the comics? Like he's always talking about
I
pickles?
don't think
or something?
so. No, maybe it
really
is,
weird.
or it wasn't something. But it's like
It was
you
written
order
by
extra
GBT.
pickles. They gave me 2 pickles, so that means when you just get regular pickles, it's 1 pickle. What the fuck's happening in this world? So there's a whole pickle thing. So it was fantastic. So
That's
That's pretty crazy.
all right, hit us with it.
Okay. Joker,
Have you read
Mad
it yet,
Love.
though?
I read like a couple lines. I think it's better than the Penguin.
Okay,
But that's
good.
just me. So yeah, it's titled Joker, Mad Love. The opening is called Arkham Asylum. So years after Gotham riots, Arthur Fleck, now fully embraced as the Joker, is confined in Arkham Asylum. He spends his days isolated, occasionally indulging in conversations with the voices in his head. Gotham outside is still on the verge of collapse. Corruption spread. Corruption spreads, crime rises, and riots frequently break out. Meanwhile, a mysterious vigilante known as the Batman is making waves.
Oh
Though
shit! Here we go.
He's still a little more than a shadowy rumor. Dr. Harleen Quinzel, a bright, eager psychiatrist, arrives at Arkham, assigned to study Joker's case. Harleen is immediately drawn to Joker, fascinated by his charisma and the anarchy he represents. Her supervisor, Dr. Jonathan Crane.
That'd be a good one in the movie to have Scarecrow, but that's a good one. Yeah, they should do that.
Killian back.
After Oppenheimer.
Wow.
Dude, he'd fit. He'd fit in this universe as like a different Scarecrow. I'm down.
You don't think Nolan be pissed? Like you
Probably.
fucking
Who
you
cares?
played Scarecrow again in the Todd Phillips Joker.
Just
You
let
fucking
Killian
kidding
get
me?
his check. Come on, don't hate.
Yeah, I gotta watch that budget though.
Yeah, not like what was the other one? Just Agatha post credits, just fucking blowing their budget with all these characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, supervisor Jonathan Crane warns her to stay emotionally detached, but Harleen, driven by her obsession, ignores the caution. Harleen's therapy sessions with Joker begin tense, but the dynamic shifts as Arthur starts revealing twisted philosophies, mocking Gotham's social decay. Their connection deepens as Arthur manipulates Harleen into doubting her own reality. The psychological tension between them builds as Joker toys with Harleen's sense of control, pulling her into his world of madness. The film's ambiguous sex scene occurs during
What?
Ambiguous.
Sex. Ambiguous sex scene. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, we got one of those coming up in a movie soon. We got ambiguous sex scenes. That's good. Okay, let's hear this.
the film
This
is
is the first, I think.
This is a first. Ambiguous sex scene occurs during one of their late night therapy sessions. It's a moment where reality and fantasy blur, set to a haunting, dreamlike musical number. The scene flashes between Harleen's twisted vision of intimacy with Joker and her physical descent into madness. It's unclear whether they actually consummate their relationship or if it's a product of Harleen's crumbling psyche, but it serves as a turning point for her complete mental breakdown. Fuck.
That could be in this movie. That could be in this movie for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there'll be a very art. I don't think there'll be a sex scene, but I could see there being an art type sex scene.
Ambiguous sex scene.
Yeah, ambiguous. Sex scene.
Ambiguous.
Reminds me of
Harleen-
another ambiguous sex scene. I remember, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Of what?
Do tell.
I can't spoil anything. No, it's
Okay.
It's locked footage.
So
Are you talking about one of our movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't pry
I've
my.
seen
Don't pry my
Chrome.
words.
I don't know what you guys are being coy about. The
Never
pickle
mind.
scene.
There's big pickles.
There's a lot of pickles. As Harleen spirals further into Joker's grip, Gotham is increasingly overrun by crime. The Penguin and Carmine Falcone battle for control of the criminal underworld, with the Riddler playing both sides, exploiting the chaos in the
So
Movie's
just the
6
Penguin
hours
show.
long.
Penguin show. In the shadows, a young, unrefined Bruce Wayne is slowly becoming the Batman, trying to stop the madness grip in the city. Batman is still learning, inexperienced, and not yet the symbol Gotham needs, but he grows closer to confronting
Year
Joker.
one sounds a little familiar
Year
for
one.
my mind.
Meanwhile, Harleen, seduced by Joker's nihilistic vision, abandons her identity as Dr. Quinzel and fully embraces her transformation to Harley Quinn. In one pivotal scene, Harley helps Joker break out of Arkham, staging a violent musical number that blends destruction and absurdity, with Harley dancing through the chaos, reveling in her new identity. Now free, Holy Harley and Joker wreak havoc on Gotham, with Harley's unhinged devotion to Joker giving them an unpredictable edge. They form an uneasy alliance with Two-Face, who's rising through Gotham's ranks as a chaotic politician.
Played by Gary Gluck or whatever his name is.
Together, they plan to bring down Gotham's elite, orchestrating riots and assassinations. Bruce Wayne, still grappling with his responsibility as Gotham's protector, is drawn into the chaos. His
I like that
attempts
he
to
has like a side subplot. His side subplot is just like any other Batman movie. Like, how can I help Gotham? Like, it's nothing new, but okay.
His attempts to stop Joker and Harley are met with setbacks, as he yet isn't fully realized as Batman. However, he finally confronts Joker and Harley in a climactic showdown at Wayne Tower, where Joker has rigged a deadly game of death traps and misdirection. This doesn't sound like our Joker, Arthur Fleck, but
What are we
The
gonna
whole
do?
like Suicide Squad, honestly.
What are we gonna do, Arthur? We're gonna go to Wayne Tower and set a bunch of death traps for my brother.
And the final act takes place in the ruins of Wayne Tower during a gala for Gotham's elite. Joker and Harley infiltrate the event, staging a chaotic, grotesque performance, using their guests as their unwilling audience. Batman arrives to stop them, but the battle is as psychological as it is physical. Joker taunts Bruce, revealing that he's aware of the Wayne family's history of corruption, and even hints that he knows Bruce is Batman. During the chaos, Harley attacks Bruce directly, showcasing her growing independence from Joker. She's now as much a threat as he is, driven by her own twisted love for him and desire to prove herself. The fight is brutal, and the tension between Harley and Harley's devotion to Joker and her thirst for personal chaos comes to a head. The film ends ambiguously with Joker being captured by Batman, but Harley disappearing into the night, laughing as Gotham burns in the distance. Joker's final words, delivered with a knowing smirk, suggest that Bruce's transformation to Batman is just the beginning, and that their dance of madness has only just started. We got a lovely post-credit scene here.
Joaquin Phoenix is stuck doing this till he's 90, like Wolverine.
In a dimly lit prison cell.
So it was just that Batman just beats them and arrests them. That was the ending? That's how Joker
right.
2 ends? Great, okay.
That's how
So
Joker
here's
2
the reverse. I can't remember, a couple weeks ago, there was one AI one that I said, like, oh, this is better than what we actually got. Here's a situation that I promise you, whatever happens Joker or Folie do is going to be better than what just got written here. So
Yeah, highly generic, except for the ambiguous sex scene. That was compelling stuff.
kudos
Pretty
there.
good.
Okay, what,
The screen fades from black into a dimly lit, steamy greenhouse.
Oh, steamy green.
That's a new one.
oh, I know it's
Little
coming
steamy
now.
green.
Filled with overgrown plants and exotic flowers,
Uh-oh.
soft ethereal light filters through the foggy glass panels, casting a faint green hue over the scene. The air is thick with moisture, almost suffocating, as the camera slowly pans over lush vines wrapping themselves around steel beams, tightly
Aye.
coiled
Ooh.
like serpents. At the center of the greenhouse stands a woman, Pamela Isley. Her back to the camera, her silhouette is framed by tangled foliage as she tends to a massive, strange plant. Its petals glowing faintly, almost pulsating with life. She moves with precision, her hands caressing the vines with intimate care.
Ambiguous sex
am-
scene takes place.
Ooh.
The scene feels almost sensual, her movements slow and deliberate,
why
the
not?
tension palpable. A soft, low voice breaks the silence, and we see a shadow emerge from the darkness. It's Harley Quinn, still in the remnants of her riot gear from earlier. She watches Pamela with a playful smile, but there's something darker underneath. Okay.
What's underneath? What's underneath?
GPT getting a little horny over here. Ooh. This whole movie, ambiguous sex scenes. We got poison ivy just throbbing.
Throbbing plants.
Pammy, you always knew how to get my attention, making things all warm and cozy in here.
Jokey and Pammy. Fully
Pamela doesn't turn around at first, her fingers running delicately along the petals of a strange alien-looking flower. Her voice is smooth, almost hypnotic. I told you, Harley, you'll find something real here, not that joker you're chasing. Pamela turns, her face half lit by the soft glow of the plants, her green eyes piercing and sultry. She steps toward Harley, who watches her with an amused, curious look. There's a magnetic pull between them as Pamela's hand grazes Harley's cheek softly, a tender yet powerful gesture. My God.
Taylor's worried it's just gonna be like, and then they fucked right there.
Harley says, I like him crazy, but you, Pammy, you're something else.
That's the end credit scene.
There's a beat of silence. Their faces inches apart. The air thick with tension. Pamela's fingers trail from Harley's cheek down her neck.
We're gonna get kicked off of
This is
YouTube for this
full-on
one.
smut at this point.
Yeah, it's cliniture now.
Lingering there, Harley closes her eyes for a moment as if surrendering to the warmth and comfort of Pamela's touch. Pamela says, Gotham is dying, but together we can breathe new life into it. We can make the city ours, turn it into something beautiful. Breathe.
Oh, I heard
I thought
breed. I heard breed. as
Yeah,
well.
like a breeding fetish. All right.
Harley smirks, her eyes flickering with excitement, a mischievous glint playing across her features. Dangerous, huh? I like the sound of that. Pamela's lips curl into a slow, knowing smile. She leans in closer, their faces now only a breath apart. The atmosphere thick with a sensual electric energy. The tension between, the tension between them is undeniable, but it's not just passion. It's power, control, the stirrings of something far more dangerous. As the camera slowly pulls back, vines in the background tighten and shift, wrapping protectively around the pair as if the greenhouse itself is responding to their passion and power between them.
Jesus Christ.
We're almost done. Pamela's hand moves to cradle the back of Harley's neck, and Harley's breath catches as they stand together, enveloped by the living, breathing jungle around them. And Pamela whispers, then let's make Gotham ours. The camera fades out, the only sound left being the soft rustling of leaves and the faint hum of the exotic plants.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing in
Christ.
Fantastic Four.
Oh man, that was the movie. All right, the post credit though, that was
It got hot.
the whole theater's they just saw this like Batman Joker movie, and the end credits just like this softcore porn going on. Aspobs is right. You have to retry the GV fanfic, and GPT can do this now because that's how we originally. One of the things we tried to write a fanfic about me, Kirkland, and Taylor doing some stuff, but that's when it got onto like the adventure and the multiverse people, and Dylan was the villain. But yeah, we gotta see if we can in the future. Maybe we'll save that for a 10-year or something. But yeah, that was good. Oh, gonna need a cigarette after that. Well, let's take an ad break,
Seriously.
and we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so let's talk about some Star Wars here. Actually, no, I need to get some stuff up for that. So let's do trailers first because there's some things I want to read here. So we got Thunderbolts, we got Sinners. Ryan Coogler's new film, hasn't directed a non-Marvel film since Creed. I think that was like 2016 or something. So it's been a minute. And then Gladiator 2, which Taylor Kirkland, you're still doing retro for, right? You guys? Or is that TBD?
Yes. Up there with Daredevil, I think.
Yeah,
right, Kirkland?
it's up
If
in
I'm
there.
invited, maybe I would join, but it sounds like I'm not welcome here.
We had the conversation, and you were with me that you didn't want to be on it, I thought.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Possible.
Well, you
I don't even
go
remember
ahead.
agreeing, so I'm with Dylan on this one.
Well, Kirkland, what do you think about these trailers?
Yeah, I remain. I feel like the Gladiator trailers are just kind of been at the same level since the first one I saw, and that is high. I am very much looking forward to this movie. Yeah, no, it's it really hasn't changed much. I feel like I'm just getting like Denzel Washington. It always just, I feel like that takes me out of it, where I just like, I recently watched Remember the Titans, and I just see like Coach Boone now. Like it's tough for me to like see him as this like ancient figure when he's just like, it's just Denzel Washington. But other than him, I feel like all the other characters, I am excited to just see them interacting with each other. But yeah, it looks epic. It looks like a nice fun time. Am I just going off all of them here?
Yeah, just a cluster.
Sinners.
There's an S.
The big
there.
S movie. Yeah, that looks interesting to me. I feel like Michael B. Jordan, just like with a big gun by the end. I just like, man, what is this action adventure gonna be here? But yeah, no, an interesting concept for sure. I'm excited to just get that pairing again with Coogler and him. I don't know. I feel like I had no idea what this project was until I saw this trailer. It's like, oh damn, that's a nice little surprise watch there. And then there's one more. What was Thunderbolts? Yes. I am looking forward to this project. I think this trailer lifted my excitement a little bit for majority of the cast interacting with each other, like getting Mr. Wyatt Russell back. Like I'm really excited to just have him back on screen again. Very much looking forward to that. Seeing Bucky here, it just feel like we were going forward with this character, and I don't know. It just seems like he's just kind of been demoted in a rank of his whatever he was in the MCU. I don't know if I'm alone in that feeling. It's just seeing him in the trailer just seems like, man, he looks like quite a side character on this adventure, which I feel like he was.
Looks
he
like
was
they
more
had him in some
important.
reshoot days, you know, like how long we
Yeah,
got Sebastian
so-
for? Yeah, let's get him in for a scene or two.
We'll see when it actually comes out. Like if I still feel that way on his, it just felt like going from, even just where he was at in like the main MCU movies to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to this. It just feels like his inclusion in this role would have been maybe before like Falcon Winter Soldier. I don't know. It just seemed weird to me that he seemed a lot less on the totem pole than maybe I would have expected with like the cast that we have on this team. I would have expected to feel like he is like a main guy on here, but I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that thinking. But yeah, overall, I'm excited to get some of these characters back. I kind of chuckled seeing Taskmaster. I feel like the mask looks so fucking like
Hockey
like-
player.
yeah, like cosplay level, and maybe lesser than that. I've seen some amazing cosplay, so like it just seemed really cheap in comparison to Taskmaster mask.
Casey Jones.
I have Taskmaster.
Easy.
I have
Let's say
heard the
mask
work-
though, and say that 10 times fast.
Taskmaster mask. No. I have heard the working theory as why it kind of looks like that, and it's not some of the comic books. It's something to do with like a China release, and if it looks too close to like a skeleton or a skull, it would get like
no.
banned because they have
Really?
like
Wow.
certain
Don't like that.
things that are close. So yeah, that's why. And yeah, it just I don't know. I'm hoping just like the Suicide Squad, how we had to lose like Slipknot in the first 15 minutes of the movie. I'm hoping Taskmaster is our Slipknot, you know, because like I don't want anyone else to be that Slipknot, and I feel like I worry it won't be Taskmaster, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Taskmaster bites the bullet, you know.
Maybe Ghost will go with her.
No, I don't want to lose Ghost. I like Ghost. You
So
know,
yeah, you like
Ghost
Ghost.
was looking badass in this trailer too.
She was for sure.
Yeah.
Just like thinking back to like her story and how uninterested I was in that, in her inclusion in Ant-Man 2. I don't know. I'm just.
Hater.
I feel like I'm gonna need a lot to really be invested with a handful of these characters. So maybe expectations are a little bit high going into this, but like I think Yelena will still be great. Red Guardian I think will be great. First
John Walker,
unlock
you got
out of my
John
spotlight
Walker.
cache this week, Dylan. Red Guardian. I was so pissed. But
You
I
got him,
digress.
sorry? What happened?
I got Red Guardian. Yes, I was looking for not him, but I'll take it.
He's a great
That was
card.
much
You should
it.
be happy with that.
I was just when you're looking forward to something else, but I don't know. Getting off.
Yeah.
getting
Sometimes
off
you don't
track
always
here.
get what you want. You get what you need, you know. But yeah, you got
That's
you,
fair.
You,
That's
you
true.
like you said, you got John Walker, and maybe Bucky could be used well. So it's like 4, and maybe Bob too could end up liking Bob.
Yeah, this guy's just cursed to play Bobs for the rest of his life, eh? It's kind of funny. Is this supposed to be like Hydra Bob? Is that what that is? Or a completely
No, Hydra Bob's a
character?
different character. He's playing
Okay.
Sentry. But yeah, he did this. He did
Oh,
Top Gun.
Sentry. Okay.
Yeah, he did
So this
Top
was
Gun.
Steven Yeun's character.
It was, and then he dropped
Yeah,
out or
okay.
scheduling, whatever it says. But yeah, and then he's got Bob the Builder next year, so he really is just doing
Are
like
you
a Bob role. So
serious?
I am. No,
What
no.
is that
No,
like an
no.
actual Bob the Builder, or is it like a
No,
horror
I'm joking.
movie?
All joke. All joke.
I didn't know if it was like a
24
blood and honey
called Bob.
version of Bob the Builder, which would be kind of
Bob the Butcher. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I'd be so down for that.
SWF says, yeah, the Fortnite Taskmaster skin had to be changed in China to give it a very generic mask. It looks a bit like this one in the movie. So yeah, there you go. So no skulls.
Don't like that.
I don't even associate that as a very skull-like mask. Maybe I'd have to watch it again. Is it in?
No, like the
Black Widow?
comic book version is. So
I
there's
know,
like
but,
people.
but what about the Widow version?
Yeah, I don't think that's a skull like either. I think they just want to change it up, I guess, to give them all. Because even
Yeah.
Ghost is like a new outfit, right? Like she's like it's more black and sleek and everything. John Walker obviously has more of the U.S. agent colors. I think Red Guardian's supposed to. Yeah, Red Guardian does have a new costume. So I think they just all have new outfits. That's why. And they're like,
Yeah.
what can we do with the mask? And
Well, because
nothing.
John Walker, he did not have any facial hair in the show, right?
No, he had to be Cap, right? He was clean shaven.
That is what's throwing me off. He looks a little weird with the beard in that suit. I'm not gonna lie. And Y. Russell's a very, strapping gentleman, but something about the beard, his face, just the proportions look way off to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because there's like less of that skin, so his face feels like really small in the mask. I'm not sure what it is, but it looked a bit funky. But I'll follow up here. I loved this trailer for Thunderbolts, and this got me. I was already excited for this because I think it's a fun idea, and I like the collection of characters. I'm excited for Ghost to come back, unlike Kirkland, who is an Ant-Man hater over here. But I thought this trailer was really fun. Of course, it's got your classic MCU like quips and whatnot, but I did feel like it had a bit of a different energy, bit of a different vibe to it, and so I'm into that. Mostly what I'm excited for, though, is that this movie really seems to be following Pugh as the lead, and any movie with Pugh as the lead, I'm in there. I'm gonna love it. Her look is amazing. Her hair looks fantastic in this. She just looks so cool and badass. So I'm very much looking forward to this more than I already was. And I don't know why they call this a teaser trailer. It was like 3.5 minutes long.
I
It's a
know.
trailer. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But no, I'm really into it. I think it's gonna be a really fun time. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that one. Sinners, I feel like I need a little bit more to chew on. I need another trailer or two, probably just one more, to really get more of a vibe if this is going to be a movie for me. I do think there's some interesting ideas there, but I don't know. Something about this trailer just didn't really pique my interest. And then the Gladiator one I thought was interesting. This one, it seems like it took a bit of a step back. I feel like the first one was more about big spectacle, big actions, things, and like in that way trying to get people to the theater, whereas this one I felt like was more character focused. Felt like it was doing a bit more world building. I'm curious if they will be putting this trailer in theaters instead of using that first one. I kind of feel like that first one's a better get people in the seat sort of trailer,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I'm still interested in it. I still think it looks like a lot of fun. I think just visually it looks fantastic. And yeah, I'm excited to get in there, even though I have not seen the original yet. So just to
maybe
answer
doing a
Maddie's question
retro.
right off the bat, most excited for Thunderbolts. That's my number one ranking, followed by Gladiator 2, followed by Sinners. That's how I'd rank them.
Kirkland, yeah, you do that.
Thunderbolts, Gladiator, Sinners.
Oh,
I'd say, yeah.
I like the way you think. Other than the ghost slander. but-
Mr. Field.
Yeah, I'll start with Sinners. This movie looks very intriguing about how it transitions into this kind of paranormal vibe. At least I think that's what they're getting into, like the demonic kind of thing with it or something
I'm just
like
gonna
that.
say you're gonna be happy with what the thing is.
Okay, I like that.
He wrote the script, so he knows.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it
Throwing
just
plants in this one.
Wait till you see the end
Plans.
credit. Yeah. It's,
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan and his twin just having throbbing moments. So
I'm looking forward to seeing it. And just with how much they showed in the trailer, it really did not reveal. At least I don't. You obviously picked up on something and know what it is. I don't. I'm just assuming based on how it.
it's on the trailer. It's just we've talked about this before, but I think everyone's forgotten. So
I definitely.
I
have
saw it in
forgotten.
the description of the trailer, I thought, or maybe
Oh,
a
does
comment
it
or
say
something.
what the
so
thing
I like,
is? Okay.
yeah, I won't
Okay.
say. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't read the description.
it's
so
Sully
I'll
from
stay
Monsters
here.
Inc. No.
yeah.
Um,
And he's mad.
That end of Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. And the smash cut, the Sully just like getting filled with iron. Just
I don't like that image, okay? I don't like that.
Well, imagine that. They remember having
No, I don't
Randall.
want to imagine that. That sounds awful.
Remember Randall when he got to that world and they're like, "Oh, get that monster!" Like, imagine that. Like, Sully's
Light
just
'em
an innocent.
up.
Yeah, Sully's just an innocent. It can camouflage. No, I can't. So.
Yeah. So other movie, Gladiator 2. This trailer
I want to
gave a
make
little
that fucking movie. We got to make that movie from the monster's point of view, where he's just a good guy in the world, and these humans are down to try to kill him, like a live action
Down to
version of
fuck.
Shrek.
Down to fuck.
Gladiator 2, I think that this trailer gave a little bit more of the story of how this guy is trying to use this dude as a gladiator. And I in the first one I thought, okay, he was just abducted and thrown into the arena without much say, but it sounds like, okay, no, this guy is willing to give him what he wants, but what he personally wants is his own game, is to be the new leader of Rome. And there's just an interesting dynamic here that will be unfolding. I'm excited for this movie. It looks great. I can't wait to see just like the panned out view of the armies, the Roman Empire, just the Colosseum battles, man. Oh, that's just eye candy, just to get those scenic, crazy sequences. I just can't wait for it. So I will definitely be there to retro the first one, because I don't even know if I've seen the first one all the way through, so I really would love to talk it, but I feel like I'm gonna have a Borderlands repeat. Kind of scared.
I'll
here.
talk with you. I didn't. Yeah. Well,
When does this one come out again?
November. It's like 21st or something, I think.
Nice.
I'm down.
Sunday morning retro. Let's
Sunday
plan
morning.
that
I like
for us.
Sunday
Morning
retros.
retro during football. My God.
Early, before 10.
7 a.m.
So first things first with Thunderbolts, which in answer to the Patreon question, Thunderbolts, Gladiator 2, then Sinners at the bottom. I just want to share this. So you see your Taskmaster here.
It looks like
It
a
just
skeleton to me.
Reminds me of Reaper from
It does look like
Overwatch. Just the mask and the hood just kind of got these similarities.
I'd ban that from my
dumb.
country if I saw that. I don't like that.
So, yeah, I just wanted to share that. But as far as my thoughts go for the trailer, I thought it was actually pretty awesome. It had like a basic, not world-ending chaotic thing. It's just these characters just trying to survive in the world, in a world that kind of disowns them. And I mean, they're not looked upon as hero status, and I don't know why, but I just laughed seeing Walker in that scene. His baby's crying in the crib and he's just on his phone, his head's inclined to the side, and it's like failed, like I can't remember what it says, like disgraced hero or whatever. And just this guy, the same guy who was just that up view of just him with a shield just coming down, smashing this guy's head, and like he's just such a character. And I'm excited to see the dynamic with him and Bucky again in this movie, and just what that stress that's going to be there between the two characters. That really gets me excited. And yeah, like Taskmaster, I think I'm excited to see Taskmaster back in here. I'd hate to see a villain get wasted, and that villain is alive, so we'll see what they're doing.
Hate to see it get wasted. I think we've already been there with Taskmaster.
In death, but redemption. I'm super stoked to see Ghost. I think Ghost is looking super cool. That outfit,
Yeah,
I'm thinking like, man, you just came out of like Destiny. Like what fucking video game are you from? You look sick. She's got like the half like it's not like a full cape, but it's like a cape that starts at your waist and it goes down. It's like I don't even know. Like it feels like westerny kind of, but man, it's like fuck, it's cool. God damn. So.
Wait, sorry, you say the cape starts at the lower half?
Oh,
Like
gosh.
a tail, kind of?
Ass cape.
Not
That's
exactly.
It's an ass
Toilet
cape.
paper stuck. That's what
Ass
she's got.
cape. I feel like I didn't notice that in the trailer.
Used to be a popular thing in the early 2010s was putting a shirt on the back of your shorts and have it hang down. Ass
It's
cape.
kind of like this,
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Cape waist belt. What was
Cape
that going? That was
waist
going for
belt.
200 bones. God damn.
200 bones.
cape.
Like
Ghost
it's
is clearly doing well.
I'll pull up the exact.
I'm gonna say she just
shot.
stole it.
Yeah.
She
She
can-
can steal pretty well with her powers.
Yeah, with her powers going back and forth between in and out of reality or whatever it is.
So you'll see it.
Penguin.
You'll see it. Yeah, look at that. Look at those side
Okay.
cape
A
flaps
little bit of
there.
A little bit of an ass
Oh,
cape, yeah.
it's just fuck. It is just as a cherry on top. That's my kind of style. I love that. That's
I like
sick.
that helmet.
Oh yeah, like the helmet too. So yeah, I can't wait. I think the humor too is seeing Red Guardian. There's just a lot of little like funny little wholesome things in there that I'm driving with. So I'm excited for this movie. I really am.
Wholesome. Yeah, no, I think this is similar to like the bootleg one that we watched for Comic-Con around that when we saw Stimpsa, but this was much better. And yeah, I continue to be more and more excited. Even though I think I get what they're saying, like I don't take the John Walker moment as like comedy. I really like there's a character beat of this guy is literally down on his luck because yeah, he made some decisions, but also the government just kind of used him, right? They just wanted him to be Captain America. They didn't coach him well with how the super soldier serum was going to happen, and then when he makes one mistake, granted big mistake, but still they just cast him aside. And I guarantee you, being the failed Captain America can't be like, if you're thinking the real world, right, that can't be a good gig now, right? I just feel that
Well, the serum was illegal, right? Like he wasn't supposed to have that to begin with.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch Falcon Winter Soldier, which I probably will in the lead up to this because I did like that show overall. I really like him in that role, and that's very exciting. Like him and Pew, I'm the most excited for. I know what we're gonna get with Red Guardian. I think there'll be some good laughs along the way. And Bucky, yeah, to me it just feels like everything. Like he's in that gala scene. He has a few scenes with the Squad for sure, or the Bolts. I'll say I don't want to say Squad, but it definitely just feels like a lot of his stuff is like shot separately, like they couldn't get Sebastian Stan for a certain time, and I think that's kind of unfortunate because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will end up being more in the movie because I think he could have great dynamics with Guardian, with John, with Pew, because like he shot her sister. If no one remembers, Winter Soldier, when she shows that scar, like, oh, can't wear bikinis anymore. It's because Bucky shot her with a sniper rifle, right? Now again, he was brainwashed, but he has a lot of connections to everybody, and he's definitely more the like the badass. They got him in the long hair again. He's not the short haired guy bringing cake to the party. But yeah, I don't know. I think Bucky might be a character that, unfortunately, unless they have one really good adventure planned out for him, he might have to go, I think, in Secret Wars and the crossovers, like a sacrifice, because it's kind of like the same way with Nick Fury. It's like, I don't know what there is left for him now. You know, I made some more stuff with Sam, but I think that's a good thing, is like have him die and have to be a motivator for Sam. I don't know. I guess it's tragic though, because Bucky's had a pretty terrible life, right? So, but no, trailer's looking good. I love the Where's My Mind cover. Great choices. Loving the action in the middle of it. Sinners, I can't wait. I've been frothing at the mouth. My plant's been throbbing for Coogler. As much as I think Black Panther is arguably the best MCU movie, I still really like the second one. I've been waiting for him to do like his Nolan, where it's like comic book movie, him movie, comic book movie, him movie. And to me, what gets me excited about this is Fruitvale Station, Creed, and the Black Panther movies. They have, I guess, maybe Black Panther has some moments, but like he's never done like a horror thriller type of thing. And that's what gets me really excited, because to me, he's one of the best directors working right now. I do remember Black Panther 2. Remember when the Atlanteans, they like invaded that boat or whatever? That was like a really scary scene. So I just feel like that was him like, oh, like I'd like to do more of this. And I really like that it seems like the movie's going to be mostly set at this one location. And I kind of, if that can be pulled off, that can go well for a movie. So yeah, and Michael B. Jordan looking super jacked. Interested to see what he's doing. Like he's playing twins, so I'm interested to see like how he's going to differentiate them, even though it just seemed like he hugs that one twin, and then the twin's not really in the rest of the trailer, right? So I don't know how that plays into it. I don't know if his twin is a part of the bad stuff going on, but I think it's going to be tough, because I agree with you, Dylan, that maybe you need a second trailer, but I worry this could be like a Get Out, Us situation, where I think with too many trailers, the genie might come out of the bottle and might be like, oh, well, now I know X, Y, and Z. So I kind of hope they just keep these trailers very, very subtle. And the cast is great. I can't remember her name, but this girl that plays, she's like Agent whatever in Low Key. Remember, she's like the new TVA president lady.
Yeah. And Deadpool as well.
Yeah, I'm forgetting everybody's name. There's a woman from Steinfeld. There's a woman from Babylon in there. So the cast is, and Delroy Lindo is really great. So so for me, it's Sinners, or Thunderbolts, and Gladiator 2, which I think it's a good story beat. You need that. You're setting the stage. I just, like I've said before, Ridley Scott, he's just very 50-50. You can get a Martian, and then you can get a Counselor. You can get a whatever the one he did with Adam Driver. Oh shit, it's Ben Affleck, Madam Driver. The Last Duel, you can get that, and then you get Napoleon. So I don't know if this is good Ridley or bad Ridley. So for me, it's more word of mouth, and I think I'm just going to be like, I don't know if I'll even be available to watch it, so that's kind of fine with me. So yeah, put Gladiator there. So All right, we'll take another ad break, and then finally we'll talk about some Star Wars and then some draft and just little news, and we'll be right back. And we are back. So this comes out from a scooper, which is more source like a C plus B tier scooper. But we'd heard there's been rumblings about this today. I just heard about this today, even though we talked about it in the Discord. But so I'm gonna do this a little differently. Usually I open it up and then I throw, but I'm gonna give you a whole overall here, and then you're gonna react based on that. So just follow me. I'm gonna take you on a little walk here. So there's rumors that the Taika Waititi movie is on hold indefinitely, and there's rumors because the Rey movie was supposed to shoot next year, but now that is also on hold indefinitely. And this comes from, as far as we have these two other unannounced movies currently on the schedule: Rian Johnson's trilogy, the Sean Levy untitled movie, Rogue Squadron, Lando, the James Mangold movie, the Dave Filoni movie. Don't forget, now these are full-on canceled, but still, the Game of Thrones writers were making a movie. There's another movie with J.D. Dillard, who's just like I don't know, I can't remember what he wrote, but he was working on that. There were rumors of, these were just rumors of an Old Republic movie, but there's rumors that that's canned because Kathleen Kennedy thinks it's too inside baseball and Dave Filoni doesn't like it. So that's, at least for the confirmed thing, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's Rian Johnson's trilogy in, right? And Sean Levy still was talking about it during Deadpool, but whatever, right? That's 11 confirmed, announced things. I didn't count 12 actually, because the Game of Thrones guys, that was a confirmed thing. That's 12 just movie projects that we've got announced since or around it's 13. I forgot. Kevin Feige. Remember that?
Lucky number 13.
Yeah. Remember Kevin Feige was making a Star Wars movie and then that went away. Who knows? COVID, maybe MCU got in trouble and he went, okay, I got to go back there, right? Whatever it is. The fact that we're in double digits since, I'd say, 2018, so what, that's 6 years now? We are, in the amount of 6 years, we've doubled the amount of movies, 12 and then 1, or 12 and plus 1, right? So it's just at a state where I remember me and Taylor, I think it was last year, if not like a year and a half ago, we stayed up, they did Star Wars Celebration in London, and there was rumor that 3 movies were going to be announced, right? And they came off swinging, where, okay, Dave Filoni, people, fanboys, fangirls, everybody love his stuff. He's making a movie. Great. And who knows? I'm sure that won't happen because he's fucking Dave Filoni. And then you got James Mangold, director of Logan, all this good jazz. And then you got, man, they're bringing Ray back, all this stuff where they literally walk Daisy Ridley on stage. And to read off this report, and just to kind of like give you an idea of what this report was, Daniel RPK is reporting that the film has way more work to be done, is now on hold. This is for the Ray one specifically. At the earliest, it will not be able to start shooting until sometime into next year, if that. The film's writer, Stephen Knight, has reportedly been trying to crack the script well over a year, and the final draft hasn't been submitted to Lucasfilm. At least 4 drafts have been apparently submitted to Kathleen Kennedy that have offered numerous notes. Knight is about to get very busy directing the Peaky Blinders movie, so it's not clear how much more work he'll be doing on the Star Wars script. There's a 14. I forgot Damon Lindelof was working on a Star Wars movie too. So there you go. It just keeps continuing. But anyway, so to paraphrase this, that seems to be a general issue, and I've brought this up before, where I really don't understand this anymore, where you can be walking Daisy Ridley on the stage, we're making a Rey movie, but here we are, and someone's been on their 4th draft of a script and it's not done. The fact that you don't have the script, the director, all locked in, we're happy to go, okay, let's announce this now. They just announced concepts. They're just like, and not even as bad, but it's like early access for games, but it's like way worse than that. It's just like, hey, you want to get excited and buy into a pitch of a movie? And anyways, to tie us all back, when me and Taylor stayed up late, and I remember because Taylor you'd think you see Taylor groggy before. We were like up at 3 a.m. He was looking tired, but they announced these 3 movies. Taylor fucking got like, Scion, what are they saying?
It was like a throbbing vine.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt the lines.
10 guana pills. And I remember that we said like, oh, the Rey movie has to happen. This is one that has to happen because they've announced it. It has so many ties to episode 9, everything like that. Like this would be the straw that breaks the camel back. And now for me, it's the, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, fool me thrice, threw me 13 times. We're officially now for me at the point where I'm not saying, oh, I'm done with Star Wars, but I'm not excited about any of the announcements, because that, to me, that was the one where I'm like, okay, the Ray thing, that should not be something you kind of fuck with, because whatever you think about those movies, those are $3 billion movies. The first one made $2 billion. These are huge hits, and I could see them being at least, okay, you're continuing the legacy of Star Wars going in the future, and you don't even have, like, we're still at this point where, well, we don't know. It's just on hold to an indefinite amount, right? And same with Taika's movie. I knew, he said, "Oh, after Thor, I'm shooting Star Wars." How long has Thor: Love and Thunder been? It's been a couple years. And same thing with Sean Levy. Yeah, I'll be James Mangold. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing Star Wars after this. But then he's working with James Gunn on Swamp Thing. It's just like I think it's these directors that want to just keep getting fucked around. And now it doesn't even matter what they announce. They can announce Adam Driver come back as Kylo Ren. I'm at the point where I can't get excited anymore, because it's just not gonna happen. It's probably not gonna happen. They need to gut the entire division. Kathleen has to go. Filoni's got to go. They have to do all this. And then the other rumor, as I throw over to Taylor today, is that apparently there's going to be no more Mandalorian shows, Taylor. The movie's going to end in Djarin's story, but he will like appear in other stuff. But that's the plan. But yeah, that movie's a go. So great. But it's like, to me, that's like a fucking layup. They were already writing season 4 of that show. Mandalorian's established thing, and Favreau and Filoni, that's their baby. So like, to me, it's like a cheat. It's like, okay, you're making a bigger episode of the shows. Cool. And the shows have had enough problems. So yeah, I think it's just now it's like I just don't understand from a business standpoint. And we do have some questions, but we will answer that after. So Taylor, I will give the baton to you, because you got that in your nickname. So
yeah, it's just disheartening and disappointing. I feel like I've said it many times before. This should be a fucking banger of a time for Star Wars, and that's not the case. We got now the shows being canceled, like follow-up seasons, stuff like that. Just there's a lot of just bad choices, bad directions, and just questionable things that is going on with Star Wars, and it should not be the case. It should be very, very simple. And I think, like you spoke to, Travis, going back to that time when they announced those 3 movies, oh man, that just seemed like such a great step forward, because at that point, like, we were already going through murky waters. Things were already really, really troublesome. Movies were announced, nothing was happening, things were shelved, and so here they come in, they get onto our level, like, here we go, this is what we're doing, 3 movies starting fresh. We got the logos, we got the whole timeline here up on the big screen, you can see, and it felt great. It felt like this is a confident step forward that Disney is making, like Lucasfilms is making, and we're going to walk together with this. And now here we are, where 2 out of those 3 projects are very much questionable. Because I'm pretty, the third one they announced was the one we're getting, the Mando movie, right? Like that, the Favreau project, or
yeah,
which the Filoni one?
Yeah, that one's
that one.
I think it was the Filoni one they announced, and then the Favreau one came later, which is actually happening, because remember, Filoni's doing Ahsoka season 2, so that's what he's busy working on.
Yeah,
gotta do Ahsoka.
So I just think that the early thousands of years ago First Jedi, Dawn Jedi story, I think that was bold, and I think that would have been a great story. Like whatever they have done, it would have been bold, like I said, risky, and maybe not totally well received amongst the Star Wars community, but it would have been its own thing, and that's that. The Rey thing, that's so important, and that's something that just really catches me off guard, and I feel like we really, really need that story, and I'm wondering, what is the problem with their script writing? What is the problem with why they can't get this project off the ground? I feel like you could do something equivalent to the Nihil, Travis, and have Rey and her new Jedi Order trying to deal with this rising faction. You don't need to have like the Sith or the rising Empire again or anything like that. And I feel like that's probably what they're thinking, like, oh, we got this whole secret Sith fleet of ships out in the Outer Rim or something like that, something wacky. And there's so many different forms of inspiration you can pull from, but I think we're really seeing Disney focus now on this one storyline where you got Mandalorian hunting. They know Mando and Grogu make money. That's what they're going to be focusing on. So they got Mando and Grogu going hunting Imperial remnants, and you got Thrawn back in the picture. And I think, okay, this is obviously the storyline that they want to really, really focus on, that they're dedicating their time and money to. I don't have a problem with that, because I love me some Thrawn, so bring it up. I will eat all of that every day, all day. But I just think, though, to just kick Rey to the side, like the one project being Jedi-oriented with Acolyte, I mean, I stand by getting a season 2. I want season 2, because they fucked Plagueis over, and now I'm fucking pissed about that. But
They didn't fuck him over. He was just in the show for a minute, and then they
and now
didn't
he's
do
fucked
anything.
over. He's fucked
They
over.
fucked him over.
Because now what do we get now? Like we get a comic
That's
book with
confusion.
him. I don't want a comic book with Plagueis in there. Like I want to see him live
I'll be
action
reading it.
on screen. But we're not gonna see. They're not gonna touch that again. Like they won't even go near that with a fucking stick, which sucks because now Plagueis had his one appearance wasted in this Acolyte show, which is just such a buzzkill. So that's that, and I feel like that. I lost my train of thought. Fuck. It's just
Performances.
yeah.
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, they're giving him a movie now.
Next
There's-
Star Wars Celebration. Woo! And here comes the director, and Zoe Kravitz walks there. Like, oh fuck, the Kravitzes are making a Star Wars movie. It's all about like him, in the cantina, like trying to get a band together, and like everyone's like, oh, what's going on here?
I could
$200 million
ramble on.
budget.
I could ramble on forever about it, but at the end of the day, it's really, really shitty. I don't have a problem with the Mando thing being turned into a movie and this being the end of his story and him appearing in other places. I think that's great. That's totally fine. I think we need to kind of conclude his story and kind of focus on other things, but are they going to do that? I don't know. It just blows my fucking mind. Like, the next convention expo we get with Star Wars, they going
Next
to
year.
like next year. So what are they gonna fucking do? What is Kathleen Kennedy going to fucking present to bring everyone in? You know, it's like we've been lured in how many fucking times, and every single time they just pull the scissors out and just go snip, and then nothing happens. Like it's just
and that's-
absolutely
but
horrible.
I won't say every time, because that was the annoying thing we covered years ago, and this is where I'll give them credit, and this is where I don't know what's changed. For years, there was, even Obi-Wan was a movie, they turned to a show, but whatever. There was rumors about Obi-Wan, but it was never happening, right? Like, never official. And they had that great moment where Kathleen was on stage, and she brought Ewan in, and she's like, oh, like, Ewan's like, can you ask me if I'm going to play Obi-Wan again? And she asked me, and he says, yes, the crowd erupts. And then they made the show. So that's what I kind of thought they were doing with Daisy. Like, oh, they've done this before. Cool moment of like, bring out the star, make the announcement, and then go. And that's where we did see them. So they have done this before. It's like, okay, we're good to go. And Obi-Wan still didn't end up the greatest. Like, I don't hate the show, but it was, disappointing. But still, like, that they did it. So it's like, even now, the most basic stuff, they can't even get the layups right of just announcing somebody in there. And I don't know, next celebration, they'll have a Mandalorian and Grogu teaser. So that's what saves them, right? But again,
I don't even know if like that would be hype, but it's not gonna save them because like is no one there?
Well,
Like, do
save
they
'em,
not
yeah.
do no one there asking the questions? Like, just going up to Kathleen Kennedy and be like, "Hey,
No.
where are all the fucking movies?"
Oh, she's not. She's on a stage, and the people down there, they're not. She's not doing like a comic
Everyone-
like signing.
Everyone
signature
collectively
booth.
needs to scream at her and yell, "Where are the movies?" Like,
Okay, well, I'm not gonna condone the screaming at Kathleen Kennedy on the stage. That sounds like it could get violent very quick. But no, I think you'll just get like you'll get announcements that don't happen, right? That's just what you get. We got this. We got
People
this.
love
We got
announcements.
that should
Glenn
not
Powell's
the
gonna be
norm.
Darth Maul in the new movie and everything. Like,
It should not be the norm. But like you even sent me that notice about how Dave Filoni is not big on the Old Republic stuff, and
he's not a fan.
I think if you're only focused on just a story that tells, like telling the story of just one character that you basically had a huge hand in creating back in the day, you need to let it go. Like, seriously, and you need to move on and start. Like, he knows Star Wars. He pays a heavy amount of focus and dedication and knows how to add those little nods and interweave the story with Star Wars very, very well, and having those Easter eggs, and I applaud that. But at the same time, if it's always focused and very central on his character that he loves, being Ahsoka, that's not doing justice for the whole community. He needs to, being in such a position of power with Star Wars, to really reinforce and reaffirm and stand up for those other storylines that need to be told. And so I do tend to agree with you. Like, if he's not going to tell those stories of like the Old Republic, or sorry, the High Republic, different things like that in different eras, then you got to have someone in there that can properly embrace all these different stories that are being told from different directors. So yeah,
my
there
boy
you
Darth
go.
Sion
Yeah,
in there.
Scion, get him in there, absolutely. Nihilus
Drax?
or Nihilus, like there's so much going
Star
on.
Scion, Dylan.
It's just
Never
such a
heard of him.
shame. Such a shame.
I got Darth Nihilus exclusive in Seattle.
Nihilus, give
I'm
him a
not-
fucking movie.
I'm not a Funkos guy, but I saw Old Republic stuff, and
I
I
didn't
get
think
that.
you were. That's a surprise to you.
No,
Flashing
but-
them on air here.
Old Republic stuff that makes the panties drops. Like that's one of my eras
Brings
there.
the pickles
but
out.
yeah, extra pickles too. But yeah, SBub says Taylor wants to storm Lucasfilm to find the answers. National treasure,
Can't stop
national
us
treasure
all.
style, stealing the
We'll go to
scripts.
Skywalker Ranch. George would be like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Well, if you do that, it'll just delay the movies even more if you steal the scripts.
If I steal the scripts.
Got to start them again.
Well, they
Just
haven't
start
even
again?
started the scripts, right? Like, what are they?
No, they have.
Oh,
they
I'm
just
sure there's paper everywhere in those fucking
no,
offices. It's
they
just
have.
like
They just keep
everywhere.
they
covered
keep
in mayonnaise. And
they keep
nasty.
submitting them and getting notes, and what that sounds to be the common issue is directors and writers submitting scripts and then always, hey, do this different, and
Who
then
does
I
it
think
go to? Kathleen. She's
Kathleen,
like,
her producers, yeah, and
unworthy.
her team,
Mediocre.
yeah, mediocre.
Get this out of here.
Yeah, and I think that just probably people are tired of it. Like, I'm sure there's some people that are certain like actual names, established writers. Like, I'm not saying Kathy Kennedy's not, but it's just like eventually it must grate on you. Like, hey, how like especially if this is a true story, you turn your fourth script and it's like still not there. It's like, okay, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, and again, why is this not done beforehand? Before we as the public know, hey, we're gonna make this Ray movie. Our script is still working on it. So I really don't know. Dylan, I know the Star Wars you've let go of, but this isn't.
I let go, but then I grabbed onto Outlaws and
Right.
I loved it. So you know what? I'm primed. I'm ready to go. But no,
I
I
hear
mean
they're making a
it's-
movie.
I've heard they're making 14 million movies. It's insane that they have not had a Star Wars movie every 2 years since I guess what was it? Was it Rise was the last one? Or was there-
2019. We're
Yeah,
we're
2019.
5 years since Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I you guys had made many great points that are like I love that breakdown you gave because like I can't remember all that kind of info,
Yeah.
but that's like that's a great reminder of like, man, these people have no fucking clue what they're doing in the like boardrooms here. And I know there's COVID happened and there was the strikes last year, so of course there's things, but that hasn't stopped the MCU, which I look at as like a very comparable type thing in terms of just like churning out these kinds of movies. And obviously they've had the TV shows. It looks like they finally got one going on with Mando here, but as you mentioned, that's kind of like, okay, if there's one to pull off,
Yeah.
why not take a TV show that you know you're able to produce and then convert it into a movie? That sounds like a pretty easy way to go about it. So I don't know. I feel like to me the answer is kind of what you said, Travis, earlier of we got to clear house at that executive level, get a new team in here. But like that process to like kind of start from scratch and start building that stuff up again, like that takes time. So even if you did that today, started finding some new people, got some new people, by the time they get it all figured out, start talking to people, start getting things in production, that's still going to be years away. So I don't even know if that's the answer at this point. Like I feel like
Yeah.
you maybe just stick with it and hope that things take a turn here. But I don't know. I really feel like they just need to, I don't know, maybe these shows are very profitable for them on Disney Plus perhaps, but I feel like they really need to cut a lot of those resources that are being put into these shows and invest that in like making these movies happen, because I feel like that's where the money lies in these kind of things. But it's so hard with the streaming world for us to contextualize the money that goes on there, because it just seems like such money pits, and I don't know where the money comes back. I know there's obviously these subscriptions, but it's so much more obvious when you just have this movie cost $200 million and it made $2 billion. Sweet, that's like a way
Yeah.
easier number to understand, you know. But it's just insane, and I don't know. I'm not surprised anymore when these things happen, but it's too bad. Like the Taika out of these two in particular, Taika, that doesn't surprise me. I just feel like, one, I don't think he's a great fit for Star Wars. I know he has done it with the Mando. Has he directed just the one episode, or did he do more
Just
in
the
season
one.
2 and 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the one.
So obviously he's been in there, but I don't think he really fits with the Star Wars formula very well. And I also just think he's been on a bit of a lower tier streak recently. So I don't know if that's what they should put their resources in, even though I do love Taika. He's made some great movies over the years. But he's definitely a hit or miss type guy, especially with, what was it, Next Goal Wins, which was like,
Yeah,
oh
I
my
still haven't
God.
watched it yet.
That was
It's so funny. I thought about that literally today when I was making the notes. Like,
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Next Goal Wins. So
such a just. It just felt like such a nothing movie from a guy who's made a lot of really great movies. That was weird, but I do think it makes sense. I do think pull the resources out of that one. Don't like, that's not what they need right now for Star Wars. If you're
No.
killing it and you're having a movie every year, yes, give one to Taika. But if you're at a rate right now where you're just barely able to get anything off the ground, I don't think putting resources into the Taika one is a good call. And the Ray one, as you mentioned, seems like such a softball and something that they should have done. And I think with every passing year, they're losing a bit of that luster of that character and the people's hype on that. And it's not like Daisy is going around, earning Oscars and like crushing all these movies. Like I feel like what's the last thing she's done? So I feel like even
She had 2 movies come out this year.
what movies?
It's
You can't even
something
name
like-
them off the top of your head. No one knows about these movies.
I have one in my queue right now. It's like sometimes I think I'm dying, and then there's one on Disney Plus where it's something The Swim, where she plays like a true story swimmer.
Swim,
But yeah,
perhaps?
it's nothing that Night Swim 2 actually.
I
Night
just
Swim Folie do.
Young woman in
I
the
don't know
sea.
if
Young
we love to
Woman's
talk about the general population here. I don't know if they are.
No.
I don't know if the Jay-Z if the Daisy stock is rising. I would love for it to. She's
Jay-Z.
good.
Jay-Z, he's also
Stop.
Lenny
It's a
Kravitz
Daisy,
Star
I
Wars
said
movie.
Daisy. Let it be known. But I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything in years, so it's strange. They need to make that happen.
Yeah. Kirkland, and it's off here.
I'll end us off short and sweet. Just freaking clean house. Get rid of Kathleen. Get rid of Filoni. I feel like this should be like extremely unacceptable. Like if you are the people that are running these companies, it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like 14
Another
projects now. That it's just like, I wish I could go to my boss and be like, oh yeah, no, I finished all these projects, and like that's what you can expect to see, and then comes down the line of like, what happened there? Oh yeah, no, I actually didn't do that. Like it's just so
14
strange.
times though.
And like that's whatever. That's like a very minute, small scale compared to what like Kathleen and team are like in charge of on just how much moving pieces and people's jobs and just money that's kind of like just going on in those spheres. So yeah, it's pretty egregious. I'm definitely gonna have to just remind myself anytime I see a Star Wars anything to just, I don't know, like we're gonna cover it, but like fuck, I'm gonna have to remind myself, oh yeah, no, I'm not excited for that because that probably won't come out.
Yeah, like we'll cover it.
Yet, right?
Yeah, no, he hasn't. No.
Ahsoka Jones, I've not seen that one. No. Or no, Osmosis Jones is what I'm thinking of. Okay, sorry. What was yours? Ahsoka?
Like
Osmosis
Ahsoka
is a
Jones.
great word.
Like all these people have these very Star Wars names: Han Solo, Lando Calrissian. What's your name? Ahsoka Jones. Oh, cool.
Motherfucker
No,
Jones. All these
we'll-
Jones are in my head right now.
We'll cover it, but I don't think it's gonna be like the way it was until these movies start coming out. All these be like, oh man, how excited! It's like, hey, if this was to happen, would this be a good idea? But
Yeah.
we may as well just be like us pitching stuff. Be like, hey, pitch me a Star Wars movie. Oh, that'd be
GPT, man.
cool.
Yeah, that's more exciting.
Chat
than what
GPT, give me
Kathleen-
4 movies, and I bet I'll have a script done sooner too. But yeah,
Yeah, so
sad
not good.
times.
Thumbs down. It's funny when you're just talking about the what was it, the London show for the Star Wars that you and Taylor, like I
Star
remember
Wars
listening.
Celebration? Yeah.
I remember listening to that episode and like I was feasting off of your guys' like excitement and enjoyment, and it's just like, man, like this is an exciting time thinking about these projects.
Just throbbing at the.
What was that? That was less than 2 years ago for sure.
It was last year sometime.
Last
Star Wars
year,
Celebration.
so
They do
yeah.
one every year, so I don't think it. I think it was in
This
2024.
could be a sad presentation.
2023. This year,
Hello, everyone.
Kathleen just comes down and says, "We got nothing."
We're
And
done.
drops the
We're
mic.
closing doors.
Yeah, we're selling Apple. Sorry.
Yeah.
There
They just
you
put
go.
20 ideas in a hat, pick out 3, be like, okay, we'll announce those ones this time.
We
Yeah.
already
No
announced
intention
that
of
one.
making
We already
them.
announced that one.
Dark Jar Jar's happening. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Well, hopefully the games get on track. Outlaws, good time. Listen to our SideQuest review. I hope that Old Republic review happens. I hope that is it Quantum Dreams or who's the
Quantic Dream, yeah.
Quantic Dream? I hope that game is
Eclipse.
happening. But that Eclipse. But remember, we heard all the issues with that. So I
Who
don't
pays
know.
them? Like Kathleen Kennedy and
No,
and co, like,
that's not
they
out
have
of her
a boss.
division.
They have a boss, not the games.
Canadian
but like,
tax
back
dollars.
to the
That's
Oh, you
what
mean
it is.
okay? Who paid the
tax fucking payers dollars yeah,
Just
Yeah,
to piss
the-
Taylor off even more. That's where your money's going, Taylor.
on my fucking dollar.
The Outlaw crew is like the guys in the game. They're like, "Oh, you'll get your money when we make a movie. Don't worry." That's why they won't make a movie. They owe all this money to people.
Taylor, Quantic Dream was acquired in 2022 by NetEase, which is one of those Chinese companies that has infinite money. They have infinite money glitch, so that's how they.
So-
I like
that's how they
infinite
stay
money.
afloat.
I think they need to sprinkle some of that over to the movie realm.
Well, right now it's streaming. Like that's like don't forget, like they launched Disney Plus with Mando, and that was a big deal. And whatever people think about Obi-Wan along with Loki, those are the top 2 watch series. So Obi-Wan was a hit. Doesn't matter what people think about the quality. That delivered big. I think Mando continued to. I think lately they haven't, as far as like the numbers. Like obviously they act like canceled, right? Like that's not a good sign. But they got money at least from those streaming stuff, and
Yes, but
like
$4
$4 billion movies,
$4 billion movies pre-COVID, and then we haven't had one since. I mean, at least 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I think that's speaking volumes when you look at this. You talked about Kirkland just like going to your boss, like turning jobs in. Like if I was the boss and I had been shoveling millions of dollars down the pipeline towards these departments to come up with things, I wait like once a year, once every 2 years for an expo or a Star Wars show to debut, and they pop off and like, oh, here are the projects that we're doing, and then they just can them. It's like, what the fuck? That's like me paying someone to do renovations on my house. It's like, oh, you know what? Or pay an interior designer. Like, oh, we're going to decorate and do a blue wall here. You know what? We're going to put like a plant in that corner. Oh, you know what? We're going to remodel the kitchen. And then like, oh, this sounds great. This sounds great. 3 years goes by and I walk in and like, what the fuck? You didn't do anything. It's like, oh yeah, we're back to formula. We're changing some things, and yeah, it's just
Just whips out a Defoe quote midway.
fucking nightmare. Like, why would you pay someone like that year after year after fucking year? It
And then they
blows
come
my
back. They're like,
mind.
"We got a new design, actually." And then you're like, "Oh, I believe you. That's exciting. Yeah, let's
That's
do
right.
this."
Totally. Just
Then a
I'm
year goes by.
drinking
Oh, yeah,
the
it's not
Kool-Aid.
happening.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
what
Yeah,
they
drinking
do?
it for a whole year.
They go and increase the price of Disney Plus. That's what they'll do when none of this works
They
out.
did. You're speaking facts. That's truth bomb right there. Fuck.
Taylor's,
God damn it.
You can tell Travis is muted if you want. I won't.
I think
I
the
would not
tough
dare.
thing is that I'm very curious how Mandalorian and Grogu does, because if that comes out and let's say it's like hits $1 billion, big hit.
It will.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon yet. We don't have. I don't know. It's never happened before. Like having a TV show go into a movie and it be a big hit. So I'm not gonna make that. What's the money here? What do you think's gonna make, Taylor?
What do I think? Like box office
Yeah.
total? I think it's at least gonna break $1 billion. I really do.
Same.
Star
You wanna
Wars.
do
as well.
Really? I will pizza bet both you guys.
You want to go in? Kirkland.
Kirkland, you want to go with me?
I'm on
Well,
Travis's team.
Okay,
on this.
double
I
pizza,
don't
yeah.
think
half
$1
a
billion,
pizza
yeah.
each for
We
everyone.
do a little pizza party. There we go.
Okay,
I'm down
someone
with
put it in
that.
the chat. Someone put it in the Discord.
Someone S-Bubs, Dalton, if you're
Yeah,
watching,
mark
pizza
it.
bet.
Mandalorian making $1 billion.
And we just got to go under $1 billion, Kirkland. We're solid. 'Cause
Yeah.
You know what?
And we just got to go.
I was
above
gonna say a
them.
specific number, but I like those
Yeah.
odds.
Yeah, I like that. That movie's coming out the same month as Doomsday. Not a shot. It's going to be just like Solo when it came out during Infinity War, where it's going to fucking plummet.
No,
I wouldn't say
MCU
plummet,
fatigue. No one cares about that anymore.
but Downey is Doom.
But you know what's not? There's no fatigue for Star Wars movies. They haven't had one in 12 years.
That's true,
It's
bro.
a drought.
But in that
They're
route, that,
thirsty.
No one's watching Acolyte or Ahsoka. They don't care about that stuff. But they'll
They don't
go
even know.
see a movie.
yeah, they don't even know it exists. They're like,
They
oh, what's
don't.
this?
It's
Yeah.
true.
So here's the thing, though, Taylor. This is where it's bad for us. It's tough, but I think you would want, like Pizza Bet said, that's what it is. But you would almost not want to hit $1 billion, because if it hits $1 billion, they will just look at, well, it's fine. Kathy's doing her thing. They eventually got a movie out there, hit $1 billion, we're good to go, and let her keep doing her stuff. That to me, I think we are in the camp of okay. Like I think Mandalorian and Grogu is her Hail Mary, and I think if that were to underperform or not do well, it will be like, okay, she will never be fired. She will retire, and they'll be like, oh, we love Kathy. She's had a great run. It'll never go down like that, like unless something bad happened in her personal life. Like it'll go out like, hey, I want to retire, quiet life. It'll always be Kathy left, but it'll be like a no, you're out of here. And I think if Mandalorian and Grogu does well, though, you're out, Kathy. If it does well, I think we're just in the same rotation again for a while, and that's what sucks to me. So
I just picture at that announcement, everyone's like agreed this is what's gonna happen, and it's like the scene from Wolf of Wall Street. She's just like off the cuff, like I'm not fucking going anywhere, and
Not fucking
everyone's like,
leaving.
no, what?
the
She's
show
not supposed
goes
to
on.
say that. Yeah.
And all the Star Wars fans are like, no, it's like the opposite of Jordan Belfort, just like, I'm not fucking leaving. Oh, that'd be great. So someone should make that video. All right, let's end the newscast off with just a bunch of quick fire news notes here. Nothing to be big enough for maybe its own topic, but throw it out there. But yeah, Pizza Bet is confirmed. Thank you, Espas, for putting in the chat. Well, and that'll be a couple years from now. So me and Dylan have a 10-year Pizza Bet, but at least we got a 2-year Pizza Bet, and we got some stuff cooking right now. So let's see here. So we have some news. It seems like Kyle Chandler is cast as Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern series. James Gunn hasn't confirmed it yet, but it seems pretty much it's a done deal. Resident Evil, or I'm being fucking Ron Burgundy here. The Barbarian director is in talks to direct a Resident Evil movie at Sony. This is after, I guess he was in talks to direct a Clue remake, and then he turned that down for potentially this. Emerald Fennel's new movie has Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie coming, or Jacob Elordi's coming back. Margot Robbie for the first time. She produced Promising Young Woman and Saltburn, so it's the first time they're working together in an acting way. The movie is called Wuthering Heights. It's a graphic or gothic novel, that follows the anti-hero Heathcliff, which Jacob's playing, as he gets revenge on the people who kept him away from his love. So I feel like it's like a little like Saltburn coded in a way of like it's a guy like doing bad stuff to a rich family, but I think it's this time he's like a good character, it sounds like, but it's supposed to be some sort of like romantic gothic revenge tale, so that got that going on. And then I do have draft updates, but we'll do that after this. So who's a fan of Kyle Chandler here? Anybody fan of Friday Night Lights?
He's from Wolf of Wall Street, right? Is the cop?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is he in? He's in King Kong, right?
He's in Game Night.
Game Night. Yeah, I like him. I like him in his appearance is enough.
Like
I feel like I like that idea. I don't know. As someone that's
I'm not
not deep in the weeds on the Green Lanterns and what they're all about, there's worse choices out there, so I'm all for that.
I'm gonna throw
Hands
this
up.
to you, and everybody else can answer this too, because this was like I talked about the GUA, and there's like a kind of trending topic going around that when he got cast, there was a debate about is Kyle Chandler a big star, and that led to because the rumor, like think about those rumor names, right? Like Matthew McConaughey, Ewan McGregor, Josh Brolin. I would put Kyle Chandler's clearly below those guys, right, as far as star power.
Big
And that
time.
created a bigger conversation where, okay, you got David Corn, Sweat, got like Nathan Fillion, who like people like, but not a big star. Millie Alcock, who, in House of Dragon, but not a big star. They just cast the villain for her movie today, but not a big star. And that created the conversation why and is it going to be a bad thing if the DCU doesn't have like any big names? Because as of right now, they don't have they got a lot of up and comers or like established actors, but they don't have. And to be honest, the MCU really didn't either in the first half, so maybe that spoils the argument. But just I think that's the people are wondering we went from all these rumored names to in the running of big A-tier actors, and I think Kyle Chandler's A-tier actor as far as quality, but as far as name. It is an interesting point, and who knows? Watch, they'll go get fucking Glenn Powell's Batman, which I think could happen. But I don't know. It's interesting.
I think
Yeah,
if
it
you
is.
told most people on the street, they would recognize him, but not know his name. He's
Yes.
one of those kind of guys.
Yes, one and the same. I used to think he reminded me of Alec Baldwin. I would get the two of them mixed up, but
Really?
I could see
I
it.
don't know, something maybe from afar. If I'm wearing glasses, even though I don't have a prescription, maybe that
Right.
effect.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I feel like it's also one of those things where you could get a very expensive big name actor and the movie just bombs and no one sees it, and then
100%.
it's like now we're not getting return on investment on that. So I understand the strategy from like a business sense, and I don't know. I don't think anyone that you listed in my mind is like there's better options out there. Like I think they're all at a good cost to performance ratio.
Yeah, they're all good actors so far.
yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and like in the case of Kyle Chandler, I kind of already spoke to it, but I'm all for it. I don't think I've seen something that he's been in and been like, man, he's the reason why this is lesser. Like he is at a good quality for sure there. But pass the baton for the rest of your question. I
Baton
guess.
has
Or
been
you could-
passed.
Or
do you wanna discuss
nothing
all
on the
the
other
things, or
topics,
we-
Kirkland?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
You
let's
said
play
you're
hot
proposing a
fire.
question to I don't know if
But
you want
they
to do
can
that
answer
now,
that
but-
question when they get there.
They
don't have
Emerald
to.
Fennel,
But then I
Dylan
handed
did.
it back
Yeah.
kindly.
big Fennel of Emeralds. I am very much looking forward to that next project. details. It's like, okay, yeah, those are details, but I know I'm gonna be there no matter what. So that's now I can safely say I've seen 2 big projects by her, and I've liked them both. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that next. And
I
sorry,
feel like we have to review
Jacob
it as a cast.
Jacob, is that who you said is in this?
Jacob
Jacob.
Elordi, yeah. Is
Nice,
the male
there you
lead.
go.
And then
So,
I would
yeah.
assume Margot Robbie is the person, his like lover that he couldn't be with or something, which is I'm interested to see because they almost make it sound like a Romeo and Juliet thing, but they're much. There
Got
you
my
go.
candle here.
Yeah, they're much different. Like they're different age groups, and I was also surprised. I don't know when this movie was shooting because Margot Robbie right now is very pregnant, so I was very surprised by this announcement. So
Maybe that's
I
part
don't
of the
know.
plot. That's why
it
she
could
got
be. Yeah,
pregnant.
I've never read this book, and I don't
Very
plan
dedicated
on
to the
supporting-
role. She got pregnant for it.
Yeah, by Jacob. Yeah, and the husband just had to sit there and take it.
He was probably into it. let's be
$100,000 bonus if you agree to this.
He's watched Euphoria.
yeah. There is like a movie they made like way back, but it's like maybe 80s or something. But yeah,
Interesting. Resident Evil. This is really exciting. I feel like I'm always kind of excited with Resident Evil news. I don't really consider myself like the biggest Resident Evil fan, but like cinema wise, I feel like I'm always down for Resident Evil project. The show was forgettable, but those reviews were definitely not. It's like just some
it's only
very
one review.
in my mind, we did it multiple times because that's just how
Okay.
much fun I had on that review. But I'm all for this. You know how many times I've seen Barbarian. I don't even know how many times I've seen Barbarian. Actually, I feel like I've seen that movie way too many times. But no, great pairing in my mind, and yeah, hopefully some good things to come. That project. And with that, I'm done.
Is that going to be a theater thing, or is it? Because wasn't the last one like a straight to Netflix kind of situation?
That was just the show, but they did have a movie
show,
come out the
okay.
year before that was Welcome to Raccoon City, and that was theatrical.
Ah, interesting.
Quick
Okay.
theatrical. It did not last long.
Well, yeah,
Right.
it
Yeah,
didn't
bad
perform
movie.
too well, but
Like
I still have
Megalopolis
yet
kinda?
to see that one yet. Yeah, Kirkland, you remember her?
Oh,
Evil?
yeah.
Oh, I remember
yeah.
her. and
I remember
never
the
even
song,
watched that
too.
thing.
Yeah, did a full one.
Times.
Yeah,
Great plot
Um,
twist.
I'll hop in here. Chandler, cool. Right on. Thumbs up from me.
I didn't know who
Emerald,
that. I thought you were saying that as a person. Like, who the fuck's Chandler Cool? But
Chandler, cool.
Yeah.
Emerald Fennel. I mean, what else could you ask for from a movie detail? This is a downside. It's not truly a downside. In college, I had to read that book, and I was not capable of reading it. It was just
Oh.
not my jam whatsoever, and so I definitely got marked dinged some grades because I just had to bullshit some answers on
I've tried to read
on
this
it.
book 14 times, Professor, and
Yeah.
I can't.
Trying to come up with some interpretations on a book I didn't read, but it was not my jam. But I think the Fennel version condensed to a movie will be a lot more digestible for me, especially when you're casting some of the top dogs in the acting world. So that's very exciting, very cool. Love that. And then
Is there?
yeah,
No, never
go
mind.
ahead,
no,
please.
no, never mind. Cancel.
You're gonna be able to finish that project now if you see the movie. You can hand in that.
Yeah,
book.
we're gonna
Finally,
do a
all
book
those years later.
retrospective.
For a professor that I have no idea what her name was. Can't remember it all. Resident Evil movies. So I've never seen any of these. I know there's been, like 12 of them over the last 2 decades. That's my guess. Seems like that many. Taylor's shaking his head. What has it been?
There's
like
at least
6?
7 movies. 7
That's
movies.
close to
He did-
12.
with
He doesn't
Mila.
know though. He said at least, so he doesn't know for sure.
That's like
Live action.
That's
There's
a
more
lot,
animated
though.
ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of animated ones. Yeah.
so over 12 overall. Probably.
Sure.
Safe bet.
Probably, yeah.
Well, leave me alone then. Okay, I was right. Okay, step off. Resident Evil. Yeah, so I've never seen any of these. Didn't watch the show. However, any astute side quest listeners will know that I've been going deep in Resident Evil the last couple of years here, and I have 3 downloaded and ready to go for this Halloween season. So I'm very excited to boot that up. I think when I'm finally done with this goddamn final DLC boss in Elden Ring, I'm going to be jumping into that. So excited to check that one out because Barbarian is a great movie, really well directed. It's fun visually. It's really great. So that's a really great pairing in my mind. I'm very excited for that. So that's it's all good news. It's good. It's a nice news segment when it's all nice.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave Taylor last because you never know what'll happen. Yeah, Fennel, it's all fantastic stuff. Like I said, I kind of already said my thoughts where I want to see why it's different about, man versus family. Again, this is, I guess, the hero route, but I'm with Fennel. She'll always kind of give some sort of slant of should we agree with this character, so that'll be good. I'm excited to see who else might be there. I hope she kind of keeps the streak up, and I hope Carey Mulligan's in this because I think we talked about this at some point, whether it's newscast or Sulp or whatever. I don't think Margot Robbie and Carey Mulligan have acted together, and that's like a pairing I would want. So I feel like this could be the perfect place. Hopefully the character has like a sister or something. So I'm hoping she keeps that streak up, and that's kind of like her person. The Kyle Chandler, I think, is like a solid acting choice. I think it's a series. It's to hold it down. I know people are making a big hubbub that he's only signed on for this series, so everyone thinks he's going to die in the show. I think there's a chance, but I think there's also just like, let's see if this is a hit and go from there. I don't think he's the main Green Lantern that's going to be in the Justice League, so he doesn't need to sign any contract. But to me, he's the right guy that he could play. Like Hal Jordan's supposed to be like a maverick type. He's the guy that he can be a little arrogant and he looks like he'd be fun and cocky, but still be hard ass. And for me, it's like kind of perfect. I still liked Timothy Olyphant better. That was the top one, but for me, it's just like a strong second. So I'm much happier with it than Ewan or Josh Brolin. It just fits. And then with Resident Evil, I think there's only one way to do this because any other way, this is a bad idea. This is a dead theatrical franchise. And I know Barbarian hit, but the part reason it's hit because it was like a $5-6 million movie that made $40 million, right? Relatively, that's not like a massive movie, right? It was just like per money. But I guarantee you go to most people on the streets, like Barbarian still has never even got a physical release on media, Blu-ray, anything like that. Like it's still like I won't say a niche movie, but a smaller movie that unless you're a horror buff, you don't know. For me, I think you have to do like Resident Evil Biohazard. You have to do 7. You have to do, and especially like if you think of Barbarian, I'm not saying do a carbon copy, but it's like a one location type of movie that has like you think about the origin of the Barbarian and some of that stuff. It has to do with like creepy characters and gross characters. Even that guy that's in those 1 or 2 scenes, I could see him playing like one of those people in Resident Evil 7. It's like the father that's all messed up. Like to me, that's the play because it's the same thing with Barbarian. You can keep it cheap. No more big zombie invasions or monster invasions. No more gun toting. Like that's not working. The show got canceled when that was more about the science. So I think make it like Resident Evil and because even Resident Evil 7, they tie it to the franchise, but it really feels like it's like on its own. Like they really just use the name Resident Evil to get a following, right? So I'd say do the same thing and just rip off that movie not rip off, like adapt that movie and just change some things, but make it a house like creepy New Orleans, like hick type of family where gross stuff's going on. And like, go watch, hopefully they're still on Twitch somewhere. Kirkland, he has like his reactions when he had to play the game, never finished it. Like those
Scary
reactions
stuff.
you get, like, and Barbarian had that too, that gross, like, oh my God. So to me, if I hear anything about hordes or riots or the day the invasion happened or the event happened,
I don't want like an icy facility underground. That's a good point. I don't
want
wanna see any of
that.
stuff.
I don't even want them to do like Quiet Place. For me, I want them to do, even if it's not exactly like 7, something like that where it's one location. Or hell, do 8. I still haven't got around to play 8, but like that's the most popular thing that happened in Resident Evil the past like 10 years is the meme of Lady Dimitrescu or whatever that was, right? Like cast Rhea
that would be
Ripley.
an expensive movie. I'll tell you that if you play.
Is it a big? Okay, so don't do that one. Do that one later. But I'm just saying, like,
or do just the Lady D.
Yeah,
section.
just the
Even
Lady-
that would
just
be
do Lady-
a
yeah.
big mansion, but yeah.
like do Lady D, cast Rhea Ripley from WWE. You're all set. Like that's what I mean. Like keep it small scale because for me, it's just like I don't see the money in Resident Evil after the past. Like it's failed continually in movie and TV for the past almost decade now. So, the floor is yours to end us off, and then I'll quickly give us some draft updates.
Yeah, Kyle Chandler, great in Godzilla. I think he'd make a great Hal Jordan. Emerald Fennel. I mean, yeah, promising young woman, Saltburn. Let's see what you can cook up for a third film here.
I feel like we have to review this one the week of now, right? I feel like
Mhm.
she's kind of
Yep.
becoming,
I think
she's
so.
at that point.
yeah,
Yeah. Earned it.
big honor for her.
Resident Evil. I am not a big fan of that last movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, that dropped, but I have to say that the set piece and just the overarching vibe and aesthetic that it had was really, really well done. Now, if you take that, which is just a it's a basic aesthetic that exists in the games too, just that looming doom feeling. I think that if this first of all, they picked the right director for this, because after watching Barbarian the other day, like, fuck, it just, he's great at taking this small isolated house and just making it feel like tormenting and dreadful. And I think, okay, this is actually a good director to tackle something horrific, something terrifying in a very small space. And I'll never forget seeing Barbarian in theaters, why these two young kids were allowed to go see this movie. But like, as Madison put it, they were genuinely screaming, and their screams would be enough to power up like Monster City and Monsters Inc. like for the like eternity. That's how like their screams were fucking screams. And so that kind of a director should absolutely tackle something as horrific as Resident Evil. But like you said, Travis, it doesn't need to be, I mean, all you guys said, this doesn't need to be like the whole hordes of undead. We've already had so many of that in like pretty much all of Mila's Resident Evil movies. It's pretty much just been the hordes, and we don't really need more of that.
Maybe except for one. Isn't one a smaller scale? I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's smaller, but it's still in the hive, and you still have a horde of zombies in the hive that you're trying to deal with. And then you got the rabbits that have mutated from the T virus too. So there's a lot going on. I don't mind a few zombies, put them in there, but like you can make 1, 2, 3 zombies absolutely terrifying. Just like in Barbarian, you're dealing with just this one inbred woman thing entity that's just terrifying. And so you can take one thing and make it scary. You don't need to have 10 million zombies to make it scary. So I think this is a great direction. I think this is a great choice, and I'm very excited to see what we get. I think if this bombs, we very well might run the risk of Resident Evil fatigue. I don't think that you could really shouldn't do anything else.
Now.
Well, not quite.
If it hits.
Not quite.
You don't think
well,
so?
I mean, I'm not for me personally. I would love to just
that's
get.
a different question.
I'd love to get that one final project of Mila, just but I don't think
that's
we'll
not
ever get it.
happening.
No, she's out.
You're out, Mila. Like, what is this? Budget 25 million, box office 45 million. It's not great stuff. Oh, they even did a mid-credit scene in that movie? Wow, they really thought.
Oh, they thought.
They thought more was happening there. All right, we got some draft updates. Nothing has changed in the MCU draft other than Taylor got some surprise points for Punisher being Agatha episode number 2. So that was a good thing there.
Spoiler!
So,
Whoa.
I'm joking. He's not
I
there.
was gonna say, what the fuck did I miss?
I just wanted to have a fun there for a second. But yeah, no points because we updated since Deadpool. I had already had my 25 points for Agatha when we did Deadpool. So yeah, no surprises. Hopefully it's something. I guess Dylan, you got Scarlet Witch, so you never know. You could get.
Yeah, is there any other Agatha characters on the draft?
Like,
did anyone cast like Aubrey Plaza's character, even not
No.
knowing what her name was at the time?
Sorry to go over this. I didn't even give the rankings. I'm getting tired with the later showing here. But what is it here? Kirkland. No, it's Taylor's in last place. He has Deadpool, Magneto, Kraven, Punisher, Human Torch, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, Mobius, Yukio, Norman Osborn, and Apocalypse. Kirkland is in third place with Wolverine, Cyclops, Venom, Jean Grey, Beast, Sunspot, Sabretooth, Dazzler, Nightcrawler, and Vulture. So, which you could get some points, you know, so that's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show coming. Dylan is in second place with 165. He has Echo, Madam Web, Colossus, Gambit, Storm, Bishop, Morph, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Kingpin. And then I'm only 5 points ahead of Dylan right now, 170.
Ooh.
Agatha, Daredevil, Professor X, Spider-Man, Rogue, Jubilee, Doctor Strange, X-23, T'Chaka, and Uatu the Watcher. So it's very close for the top. Even all of us were a couple surprise appearances. Like Kirkland's at 150. Taylor, I think you might be out of it unless you get some good surprise. I guess you got Kraven. Yeah, you got Kraven. That's a 25 pointer. So no, we're all. Who is Venom again?
Craven's gonna say
Kirkland has Venom, I think.
Kirkland is Venom. Yeah, no, it's really close with all of us. So I think it's gonna come down to some surprise appearance or end credit or something.
Is the Spider-Man thing coming out for sure? Do we know yet?
That's what they say, but I don't trust
Because
them.
that's on your list, right, Travis? That's 25 for
Yes.
you as well. So
I'm hoping, but
looking
you
good
never
for
know.
you.
Superhero draft, nothing's changed. Nobody's been cast. Dylan has Anna de Armas, Sadie Sink, Sean Gunn, Murray Bartlett, Glenn Powell, Kaylee Spaney, Josh O'Connor, Stephen Young, Ella Purnell, and Ayo Edaberry.
What a
I got
great
some more.
list.
That's a great list. I got Samara Weaving, Léa Seydoux, Jodie Comer, Adam Driver, Palm Clementif, Daisy Edgar Jones, Katie O'Brien, Lee Jung Jae, Karen Gillan, and Ryan Gosling. Kirkland has Keanu Reeves, Jennifer Holland, Austin Abrams, Shamir Anderson, Freya Allen, Sophia Wilde, Jenna Ortega, Elia Brown, Boyd Holbrook, and Amanda Fix. And then Taylor has Naomi Scott, Donnie Yen, Mark Wahlberg, Sigourney Weaver Siggs,
The
Millie Bobby
classics.
Brown, Sydney Sweeney, Kierna Shipka, Simone Ashley, sorry, Cillian Murphy,
Simon's Ashley.
Cillian Murphy, and Hugh Grant. So yeah, no points on the board, but
Hugh.
that's only since July, so only a couple months there.
No Lenny Kravitz picks.
Oh,
no,
next
that's-
year that's gonna be a front runner.
Yeah, I'll give someone. I'll give them the auto win if they get that, and then do. Dylan, I know you did it a couple weeks ago, but do you mind if I read the side quest video game one just for if anyone hasn't heard that yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if anything else came out because I have Plucky Squire on my list,
You did.
and so I don't think I've updated that one, so that would be on there,
Okay. Well, there
for
you go.
example.
So I don't.
So you
have
could
that.
read it off, but it might not be accurate, is what I'm getting at.
Did you want to look at the Plucky Squire thing while I read out the movie draft? Or
Pluggy
not now?
Squire, 84 Metacritic, pretty good.
84. So that brings Dylan up to.
I'm still fucked because I have a Avowed,
51.
and that's not
So
coming
you're
out.
about you're 351. Okay, so right now Kirkland's last place with 207. He has South Park Snow Day, Rise of the Ronin, Black Myth Wukong, and then he still has Microsoft Flight Simulator, Stalker 2, Frostpunk 2,
Frostpunk
and
just came out. When do
That is out as well, actually. Yeah.
okay. What's he at? What,
Right now.
someone give me
That
Frostpunk
came out
PC.
this week. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero is his other one. That there's 4 games. he's released for him.
86. I thought I heard some
86.
controversy about the game.
Hell
That's better than
yes.
Pluggy Squire.
So Kirkland is still in last place with 293, but still big up there. And then Dylan, I just said you were 351 right now. You had Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Plucky Squire, and Senya Saga. Unfortunately, Avowed's been delayed, and you still have Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, Astro Ball. Oh no, Astro Ball came out too.
Astrobot came out too.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to pull the calculator. You might be in a good number there right now.
And that
Okay.
one's juicy. That one's
Yeah, that one's
juicing at
big juice.
94. So
Okay, 94. And then what was
Good.
Plucky Squire again?
84.
84. Okay, so you are now at 351. So you're still in third place, but you're big jump up from the
Big jump.
big jump up there. So 351. I am in second place right now with 396. I have Peach Showtime, Like a Dragon, Helldivers, Pacific Drive, and Star Wars Outlaws out. I'm waiting on Indiana Jones and Mario Party Jamboree. Taylor is in first place at 409 with Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Tekken 8, Dragon's Dogma, Terminator Dark Fate, and then World of Warcraft The War Within. He has Assassin's Creed Shadows and Mario and Luigi still left. So Taylor is in the lead, but me and Dylan are very close. Like Dylan, because I guess you got what? Zelda's probably gonna review well, and UFO 50. What are
Yeah.
you feeling on that? How's that gonna review?
Did I pick that on my list?
You did. That's your last pick.
Well, that's out too. So let's see what the Metacritic's like.
We're getting all the numbers here.
91 for UFO 50.
Really, 91. Okay, so that boots me down to third finally. No, it
Let's
boots us all
go.
down. So Dylan is now in first place with 442.
Oh, look at that.
Pluggy and UFO. That's a good week for me. Way to
So-
go. And that's what we discussed on this week's side quest. So go check that out.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So now, I'm sorry, Kirkland, I think you might be out of it, but you never know.
Snow Day was a real rough one to have.
Yeah, 56. That
50-something.
kind of sunk.
that's-
Yeah,
that's-
56
you hate to
there.
see it.
But yeah, so right now Dylan's 442 with 1 game to go. I'm at 396 with 2 games, and Taylor's at 409 with 2 games. So it all takes is one big
Goddamn
game or
Avowed.
one big bomb, and if you had Avowed, you'd clear it. You'd be like you would have won for sure.
Yeah.
So it's those. So we got
how it
the
goes.
Marvel draft is close. The video game draft is close. Technically, the MCU cast is still close because we're all at 0. And then finally, the movie draft. We got lots of updates here. Kirkland is at last place with 1.3 billion. He had Dune, Furiosa, Fall Guy, If. And the first Omen, the only new movie that got added to your list right now is Borderlands with 32 million. That came out since we've been doing
Yeah,
that.
I forgot about that one, eh?
You got hosed this year, man. Those are some good
Yeah.
picks, and it just
It
didn't-
started
just didn't work out.
nice.
It started
That
out
was-
great with
Dune.
Dune, yeah.
That was your South Park Snow Day pick right there. But you do have Smile 2, Gladiator 2, and Venom 3.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
So
Okay.
Gladiator and Venom
Symbiote
3.
Boys will come out.
And then also to mention again too, you did a Ballerina, but that got delayed, so that hurt you from some potential there. So you got that going on. So Kirkland is in 4th place. And then currently in 2nd place is Taylor Field. He said Kung Fu Panda, Ghostbusters, Alien Romulus, which is one of his new ones. Twisters is a new one, and Transformers 1. And then you also had Horoscope and Strangers. You're at 1.6, so just 300,000.
What was
or
the overall
300 million.
alien number on that puppy?
Right now it's 341. So pretty good. Nice little decent chunk
Decent,
there.
yeah.
And then for me, the only new one that got added was Deadpool Wolverine, which is at 1.3 billion. I'm currently in 2nd place with 3.1 billion. I have Deadpool Wolverine, Godzilla and Kong, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Quiet Place Day 1, Madam Web, Bad Boys, and then Mean Girls. Saw 11 dead because that got delayed. And apparently it might be delayed till 2026, so great.
Don't pick it next year.
Don't pick it next year. I have Mufasa and Wicked left. Dylan
Okay,
is in
pretty
1st
juicy.
place currently with 3.6 million, as you had Despicable Me.
Billion even.
What did you say?
Billion, I said.
No, it's at 948. It didn't quite cross it, but I see what you said. Sorry, it's getting tired. He's at $3.6 billion.
Billion, yeah.
So yeah,
3.6 million would be pretty atrocious score. That'd be
still
like
in
picking
first.
Borderlands and nothing else that comes out.
yeah, still first. So Despicable Me, you added from the last time like a 500 million, and then Beetlejuice, that was new. That got you 332 million there. But then
Sick. More
Inside
than,
Out,
almost as much as Alien. Let's go.
Inside Out, Garfield, Bob Marley, Challengers, Argyle, and Civil War. You had lost Mickey 17. So other than Taylor,
Oh, yeah.
all of us lost a movie. So you have Lord of the Rings. So you're 500 million in front of me. I got 2 movies, and you got 1.
And you got Mufasa. Yeah, that's
And Wicked, I'm
That's gonna
hoping.
be close. For
Yeah,
sure.
so all the drafts this year, there's no clear runaway winner. There's a couple runaway losers right now. Sorry, Kirkland, but you know. And then a couple weeks in our NFL draft, Kirkland will be a loser, making a comeback. Jaden Daniels,
Hey,
man.
I had a good
but
win. I had a good win this
you
week.
did. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. A nice, big, juicy newscast. Now, I think for the next little bit, it should probably just be, if there's any big choice, it'll just be a quick hit, 1.5 bonus episode, because we got a lot of reviews coming up, a lot of episodes. We're back to 3 TV shows a week, movies coming up, retros. So when they happen, promise you will not be boring. Thank you very much for tuning in.